Yo, what's going on, everybody? Jay the Great here, back into the new year. We got me and Batman. Shinobi, unfortunately, had
Yo,
some technical difficulties. Unfortunately, hopefully, he's back next week. But we are back in business, recharged and reborn, as you can tell by the title. And we're back in the lab.
there.
Back in the lab here, folks. I hope you guys are doing well. Whole new year. Hope you folks had good holidays, good time at the end of the year, the new year as well. We've just been on the grind, Apologies for the hiatus. Been on the grind getting things done, trying to
Yeah,
figure out our scheduling for the stream because nothing stops this train, man. Nothing. I mean,
no,
we figure
man.
it out. You know?
A good way of seeing it, guys. We can't fully commit to you and give all, you know what I mean, like our full 100% effort without taking care of ourselves in IRL. Like that's just
Facts.
impossible.
Yeah.
Unless we're good there, we can't give you guys what you want. So it's a
Yeah.
win-win, basically.
Yeah.
Um,
Facts.
uh,
So the grind never stops here, but yeah, we gotta find that balance. But hope you guys are doing well. Plenty to discuss. What's going on, Kedra? What's going on, brother? Long time no see. What's going on, Terry? Plenty to discuss. Dragon Ball Dama is taking a week hiatus. I believe there's no episode this week. We got Bleach. Part three is concluded. Fire. Feel free to ask about that. I've watched all of that. Bleach. One Piece. I made some progress. Feel free to ask about that. I believe I am now in the part where Alabasta has been saved. Luffy defeated Crocodile. One of the seven
yes.
warlords of the sea. Luffy is that guy. It's that simple. So feel free to ask about that. What else is there? There's plenty to discuss. Current events, sports, whatever you guys want to ask. Logan Paul fighting McGregor, most likely in India sometime this year. Maybe. I don't know if that's not confirmed yet, but it's possible. Um, Plenty to discuss, folks. Whatever you guys want to ask. Plenty to discuss. Plenty. But yeah, hope you folks are doing well. And let's get to it. What's going on? Miss y'all, boys. Yeah. Miss y'all too. Definitely miss y'all,
Yeah,
man. It's been a
man.
minute.
No, it's been a bit. You have been missed type
Yes,
shit.
sir. Yeah, definitely. And just to give you guys a little excitement, yeah, we got a debate. I mean, you guys already know we got a debate, me and Batman, next Wednesday. It's
Mhm.
Itachi versus Minato. I gotta shake off the rust myself. It's been quite some time since I've engaged in argumentation. So, you know, sound four free for all. Who'd win that between the sound four?
So, if we based it upon like what's it called, like from what they do overall and who they fight, I'm
Yeah,
leaning towards Spider-Man because of the
yeah,
Neji correlation, because
agreed.
Neji's way above Shikamaru, Kiba, and base Naruto. Like that's without a fact.
Yeah, Kidomaru.
What's it
Yeah,
called? Yeah, like so the Spider Dude, he literally slammed all of them at the same time, and
facts.
Neji was the only one that could fight back because thankfully he was the counter. But either way, when you start seeing more feats with Neji, like he's actually just as fast as him too. And then the Spider Dude has to concede close combat because he can't keep up with Neji. It's
Yeah,
kind
he
of like
lacks
Gator
it.
and Sasuke all over again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So it's definitely the Spider-Man dude based upon like feats alone. There is a way to try to rep Saikon and Tayuya, which if you use like the manga statement only, where it says like Saikon's the strongest or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Um, the only discrepancy though with that is it's rare, but sometimes the manga translations are incorrect. And so what Kishimoto does, it's on the Naruto official website, but he hires three translators and they do like these job functions, and it's all explained there. But basically, in a simple consensus, is they go over the manga once more, and they all well, not the manga. They once they make the anime, because the manga comes first, right?
Right. Yeah.
They'll do the anime, and they want to make sure the anime is as completely as accurate as possible as the manga. So basically, if it changes in the anime, then basically what the correlation is that that manga statement was incorrect. That's basically what I'm getting at. And we see countless examples. One example is with the Killer Bee shit, where he says Taka Sasuke was the strongest opponent. Sasuke was the strongest one he's ever faced.
Yeah.
That's incorrect because we know it was Minato. But
Right. Yeah.
and that's stated in the manga, but in the anime, it says he was the second toughest
Yeah.
opponent, and that makes much more sense in lines with the
Logically.
narrative,
Yeah.
etc. Yeah,
Yeah.
so like with the Sound 4, it's the same shit basically. But in the anime, Orochimaru and Kabuto say Saikon believes he is the strongest and that Taiyo is no less than vain, not that he is the strongest,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know?
And even
So
logically,
yeah.
like
But,
you think about think about it rationally, empirically,
yeah.
like Batman said, Kidomaru faced what he even stated as the strongest recruit or the strongest getting in that squad,
Yep.
who was, Neji. So even logically, it would just follow that. he's just more than likely the strongest of the Sound Four again because he faced the strongest of that squad.
Facts.
Um, so
And it's
just logically,
substantiated. Akamaru and Kiba, when they smell Jirobo, they're like, oh yeah, this guy's strong, whatever. But he's the weakest. And then even
right? Yeah,
Saikon and Taiyo say he's the weakest as well. They've reinforced that. And then on top of it, when they see the Spider-Man guy, Kiba says this guy is far more stronger than Jirobo. He doesn't say like a little bit, or no, he says like way, and like and Akamaru is getting a little like scared and whatnot because
yeah,
they have
exactly.
the ability to sense or smell the person's chakra and power. You know,
Yeah,
so there's all those statements too. So like basically how I would gauge it is it's the Spider Dude, Saikon, um, uh, Taiyu and Jirobo is interesting, but what's it called? I don't know what way you would do with that, Jay.
yeah.
But oh wait, no, this is a free for all though, not a ranking. So
Yeah.
yeah, what do you think overall though, Jay?
Yeah, I would say Kidu number one,
Yeah.
Sakon, yeah, probably number two. Tayuya and
We
so
know
Tayuya
Jirobo
and
is more
Jirobo,
physically stronger than her, but
yeah,
she
definitely physically
technically is
stronger.
a hard counter because she's a range. So
Yeah, she
you
could
know what I
like
mean? Like,
essentially negate
yeah,
his physical strength superiority with her hacks and maybe
yeah.
catch him in a genjutsu with his, with the
And
flutes
she
and stuff.
scales to Saikon as well. Like when we see the feats, like Saikon beats, he's able to catch Naruto's Rising Gun, beat up Kiba, beat up Naruto and shit. Taiyo is shown to be equal to Naruto and Shikamaru as well.
Yeah,
What's it called? She's at least relative to Saikon is what I'm getting at,
yeah,
based
yeah,
upon feats and stuff. So like, so overall, like, because that's the thing, we know all the Sound Four are relative to each other too. Like they're
yeah.
not like
Certainly relativity.
great,
Yeah,
like yeah, there's definitely relativity. I'm not gonna say like oh like Spider or some they're like Speed Blitz tiers above, but because we see that when they fight the Jonin, you know what I mean? Like
yeah. They
they're
all
all
have to go
moving
to
at
like
the same.
CS2. Yeah,
Yeah, they have to go to like CM2, and they're all moving at they were moving at the same time in CM1 as well. So
facts.
there
Yeah,
clearly is relativity, but when you analyze all their feats all together, it's definitely the Spider-Man the most superior, based upon feats. Then Saikon is second because he does the second best in performance.
yeah. It does.
And then
Yeah,
Taiya and Jirobo, that's where it's interesting, and it's basically you would just discuss abilities at that point.
yeah.
And
You have to go
I feel
down to
like
the
Taiya
matchup.
is a hard counter, like.
Yeah, she is. The
So.
long range is a good negation to his like
Yeah. Like
close quarter strength.
Saikon and Spider-Man, they can negate her genjutsu, but Jirobo can't. He has no
No, yeah,
way to. He can't inflict pain on himself. The Spider-Man, he could use his web and break his finger or some shit.
yeah.
The
Literally,
Saikon has two bodies
two
inside, so
bodies.
like that's so like
Yeah,
they can deal with Taiyo even if she gets her genjutsu, but Jirobo, he's fucked.
yeah.
Like,
He has no second option to like offset it or like break him out.
yeah.
Nothing. So
If
what's going
he hits
on?
her, she'll get fucked up. I'll say that. If he
Oh,
can
for
land a
sure. Yeah,
hit,
yeah,
but
yeah.
if she could keep Shikamaru, someone as fast as him away,
Yeah,
I don't know,
Jirobo in close
Jirobo.
quarters, he's definitely superior in close quarters combat for sure. But
Yeah, like
yeah, yeah,
physical, like strength, blatantly, and even
yeah.
Choji was
Brute
like the most
strength.
superior out of all of them. Like brute strength,
Yeah.
physical, absolutely. But when we're discussing speed, that's a whole
Like
other thing,
overall, yeah, exactly. Speed.
Yeah,
What's going on? Yellow Flash. What's going on, bro? What's going on, Tanner? Bleach finale was insane. Askin and Senshui are my guys. I fuck with Senshui, dude. He's a stud.
yeah.
Um, Kimi
But
Maru
free for
versus
all Jay
Gar.
though, I think it's definitely the Spider Dude though, because I
Yeah,
think that
overall.
favors it even more. Like, bro, like
Yeah.
the guy can sit back from a range, snipe and shit. He has the web to counter their all of them. They won't be able to get out of the fucking web.
Yeah, none of them really. Like he
Yeah,
has the
like he's
best abilities.
yeah, and then he has like that spider summoning that like shoots millions of attacks, like some Sasori shit. Like
Yeah,
a
literally.
free for all is very beneficial for him too. Like, so
He
that's
has a
even
lot
more
of
unfair.
Yeah, he has
Yeah.
a lot of like large radius attacks, like his fucking webs and all that
Yeah,
shit.
like
So
Saikon and Jirobo, they're at the most disadvantage because they're close combat
yeah, they
types.
need to be up close. And that guy can stay.
Yeah,
He can stay from a distance and like snipe everybody. So
yeah. So,
like,
so like Jirobo, he's cooked, he's dead, he's getting sniped.
yeah,
Saikon, he'll be able to outlive Taiyo, whatever, because it's healing and two of them. It'll basically just eventually boil down to the Spider and Saikon fighting. That's the way I
yeah,
see it.
facts.
And then who do you think wins? Honestly, he's just gonna do what he did to Neji, right? He's not gonna try to fuck with Saikon in close combat. That's his
Yeah, not
shit.
up close.
You know?
No, literally,
Yeah.
that's his forte. When
Yeah.
does Naruto get to tuning level?
On Earth, nothing was working out, and I wanted to get the hell out of there.
You're applying to be an expendable? You read through the paperwork.
Yeah. I should have read through it.
Tuning?
You could. Well, if we're saying power wise, I'd say the Konoha Crush, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like he's over here fighting against
blatantly
Neji
blatant.
and shit.
That's
Yeah,
a
like
low
power
ball.
wise, yeah,
Yeah,
and that's a low ball, like just power. But to be fair, like there's different levels of tuning too. Like Jay
yeah,
was
it
getting at.
varies.
Like you
Yeah,
have the low tuning, then you have average tuning, then you have the highest tuning, which is like Aruka. Naruto
yeah,
wasn't even stronger than Aruka. He was nowhere like that was
not
blatantly
that level.
established in part one.
Yeah,
Yeah, he wasn't even at, so he's not like at high tuning. But yeah, like he's definitely tuning in the Kono. I would say
right,
low.
Konoha.
If
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, and if you even want to rep him like an average tuning, that's fine too. But
bare minimum. Yeah,
over,
he's
yeah,
average.
bare minimum, But like yeah, low ball is, I would say low ball, low tuning, high ball, average tuning. He's definitely not a Ruka level though. Like that's
No,
just
no,
not.
not
There's
yeah.
nothing to support that. Yeah. Um.
Thought you were on your Swakage vacay. Actually, I mean, stream wise, we took a hiatus, but I've been posting. I posted a Cobra Kai video
Yeah.
actually. Check it out. I really fuck with Cobra Kai, so if you guys want to ask about that kind of scaling, it's
Oh, such
IRL,
a good
but
show, dude.
it's damn good. I've scaled it
Well,
pretty.
did you hear the? I don't know if you heard. I heard some bullshit on Discord where
Yeah.
people were repping like Miguel, fucking over. Yeah, how did I forget that man's name? He's the one
Um.
that gets trained by the father,
Oh,
Miguel's
Robbie.
father.
Robbie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
Robbie. Yeah, yeah. Like he kind of
Uh,
looks like Danielson in a way.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean?
I'll say
Um,
this about Robbie versus Miguel. I don't think I'll make a video on it, so fuck it. I'll say this: Robbie, when bloodlusted and like he has mental amps, he's above
yeah,
Miguel.
yeah, yeah,
During
exactly.
season, there's a misconception because the newest part is currently out, part 2 of season 6. He's mentally
Yeah,
nerfed at essentially like the entire tournament, the Sekai Taikai,
because
because
his
his
spine injury. Yeah,
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 and because Tori essentially didn't break up with him, but he told him like because she joined Cobra Kai, she's like we gotta
yeah,
take a break and we gotta focus. So he was basically nerfed the whole fucking tournament until the
yep.
very end when he found out that she didn't sleep with Quan or whatever, and
Yeah,
fucking
because the moment he wasn't mentally nerfed with
he
her,
beat
he was
Quan.
he was doing fucking great. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Like
he
fucking
burnt Quan actually. He was like bloodlusted. It wasn't even there was no relativity there. He was slamming Quan, and Quan got a point on Miguel, who like performed consistently throughout the entire tournament.
yeah.
So Robbie's not like leagues above Miguel, but when he's at his best, I think at this point in time he's
Yeah.
a superior. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's
superior.
definitely superior because like when you analyze like the show, when they were first going at it, like there's blatant like they blatantly scale to each other. It's not like he's like leagues above him too, or
Yeah,
whatever.
no, no, not at all.
So like they blatantly scale too, so that's the first thing. But when it just comes to overall outright skill and just outsmarting in combat, he just takes it over Miguel because like the first instant he won, like they had their moment, whatever they fought right, but he
Yeah,
just won fairly. The second he won again, and this is when like they're both really angry at each other,
yeah,
like
like
both
bloodlusted.
bloodlusted.
Yeah,
And then like he won, he had him like pinned down and he could have broke his arm, but then he didn't and he spared him. But
showed
because of
mercy.
that, then Miguel got up, tripped, sweeped him, and then like did that side kick, and then that's when he had the back
The
injury.
back injury.
um
Yeah,
so he won that second fight too. And then when it came to their tournament performance,
yeah,
my memory's a little fuzzy there. Maybe you could help me there, Jay. I don't know
yeah.
if he was either did he fight him again at that point or no?
Actually no, because Miguel ended up running away because he ran away to Mexico to find his dad. So he actually
Yeah,
fought
you're right.
Hawk.
Yeah,
You know what's
yeah,
funny
yeah,
is he was mentally nerfed there too because he fought Hawk very
yeah,
relatively, like it was extremely fucking competitive, and he was
yeah,
mentally nerfed while Hawk was bloodlusted, and he
yeah.
barely
Hawk
beat
only
Rock.
won because of his nerf.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it's the only reason he won, and it was really, really
yeah,
fucking close. Like they went to sudden death, which is the
yeah,
first time that happened since Daniel fought. I think it was in Karate Kid 3 when he fought Mike Barnes and it went to sudden
yeah.
death. That
Mm,
was the first time that happened because he was mentally nerfed because of Kenny. Like he felt bad
facts.
for Kenny. So in a way, Robbie's always fucking nerfed, and we didn't really get a taste of what he's capable of until part 2 when he fought Quan, and it wasn't even fucking close. Quan was getting fucking sunned. Like Quan was pissed. Quan was like, "Fuck,"
Yeah,
he couldn't touch him. Like he was bitching him. So when he's at his best, I think he's still above Miguel as of right now. I'd say yeah, he's the best in Miyagi Do right now.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. Because
yeah,
Miguel, like he did great. Like he did great beginning, all that. He won fair and square twice.
yeah,
Um, and then like once the show further goes on, and like that whole thing you brought up with the mental nerf with that chick, Robbie starts like he just starts underperforming. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
a lot.
yeah,
Yeah,
like he was getting clapped up by fucking trash cans. Like
yeah, he's getting clapped up by everybody. I was like, bro, what the fuck?
yeah, and then
But
like and Miguel, like yeah,
he
he
was
was
carrying.
there. Oh yeah, and that's what reminded me. They fought for captain.
Yeah,
Who
yeah,
was
and
going to be
he beat
captain? Yeah,
Miguel.
Miguel. Yeah, and
Yeah,
he beat, and this was like fair and square. None of them had mental nerves.
no
You know what I mean?
mental
Like they were
nerfs.
going, yeah,
Yeah,
and it was close, but
it
he
was
beat him fair
close.
and square. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So like, so basically, what I'm getting at that point in time, like I would definitely have Robbie over Miguel because he blatantly did it. He won. You
yeah,
know what I
he
mean?
beat him
Like,
fair
sure,
and
you could
square.
try to argue about, oh, well, maybe if they fought again, maybe Miguel, could say, okay, sure, but either way, we know objectively he won.
Yeah,
So like
exactly.
at that time, he has to be above. But at least in the beginning of the show, Robbie had it over him for the most part, and it makes sense because fucking he was training with like Miguel's not Miguel. Fucking, I'm mixing their fucking names up. You get what I'm saying? He was training with
Yeah,
the Cobra Kai's father, so
yeah,
he
with Johnny.
technically
Yeah,
had the edge in the beginning of the show too, while Robbie fucking was training with Danielson.
yeah, with Danielson.
And I'm
Yeah,
not saying Mr. Miyagi's fighting style is shit, but you could still tell like when students are learning that Cobra Kai's
tenacity.
fighting style is at least more, I
Yeah,
guess,
it's more
beneficial. You know what I
ferocious.
mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's more ferocious, more aggressive, right? It's all about offense basically, and
yeah,
Danielson's stuff is defense. Um, but see, the reason why Miyagi was so fucking great was because he knew offense and defense,
yeah. Like we
but he only
learn.
taught Danielson the defense shit though.
Yeah, and he doesn't even learn about the
So
offense till he trains with Chosen in fucking Okinawa in
it
season I think 3 or 2 or some shit.
exactly,
Yeah, he didn't
yeah.
even know
So
about
that,
like the pressure
yeah.
points and all that shit.
Yeah, none
But
of that shit, bro.
yeah,
If anything, Miyagi's offense, that shit was
godly.
obviously better than Cobra. Yeah, like
Oh yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
it's fucking Miyagi, so overall, like Miguel had a big advantage of training with Robbie's father, having the Cobra Kai shit, more aggressive. It was just like they're competitive, the fighting styles, but it's clearly more superior,
Yeah,
like
it's more
slightly superior.
aggressive. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
more aggressive. And the thing
yeah,
about Miyagi, yeah, he had secrets that Daniel didn't know till now. He's barely learning them
yep,
now. And like
yeah,
his offensive, he had like offensive weapons that could like fucking kill somebody. Like at the end of season 4, I think, or 3, he almost killed Kreese with the fucking pressure points. But then his
yeah.
his daughter showed up and was like, "What's happening?" And he didn't do it. But that's
Facts.
fucking Miyagi. That's offensive Miyagi though. That's offense. So it's fucking fire. But yeah, right now Robbie is the superior. I might do a video on that, but if not, maybe we'll clip this shit and talk and just post it. But fuck it.
It's a good topic. I just feel like people they misconstrue or they just forget the context.
Yeah, it's a lot of context,
You know,
bias
yeah,
too.
or bias. Like they'll be like, oh, I really really like Miguel a lot. Or
Facts,
he looks like
facts.
Danielson, so therefore he has to, no matter like.
Yeah, I'll say
It's like
this:
yeah,
an interesting topic for guys that are caught up with Cobra Kai would actually be Miguel versus Quan, which is actually a video I'm planning on doing. Miguel
uh,
versus Quan, RIP Quan, by the way.
yeah,
If you guys are caught up, that's a topic right there actually. But yeah, uh,
yeah,
Cobra,
because he did. I gotta watch that last season again because that's where my
yeah,
memory starts getting fuzzy. Like the first 2 seasons, those really stuck because things got very fucking intense.
fire, yeah, it's fire,
It got really fucking crazy. Yeah, there was
yeah,
just so much, and I was like really hooked. I'm not saying the last season wasn't good, but it was just mainly like tournament shit. You know what
yeah,
I
it
mean?
was more
Like it was
tournament
very,
shit,
yeah, it
yeah,
was very simple, straightforward, and it's cool because it's a lot of fighting, right? But
yeah.
that's why my memory's a little fuzzy. But yeah, that would actually be a very good matchup, Miguel and that dude because he was really good.
That guy's a
Um,
dog. Yeah, he has aura. That guy has aura
yeah.
for sure.
I will say this, Miguel, he was doing very good in that tournament though, because
No, he was. He carried until
he was
yeah,
carrying hard, and he was getting really pissed because Robbie was mental nerf and like doing
yeah.
ass. And he was like, bro, like be a fucking cap, like you know what I mean, like bro,
Yeah,
come
he was
on, like I
calling him
need you.
out. Yeah. Yeah. He's like, bitch, hand over the captain fucking band if you can't carry. Like, bro. And then
So
Robbie
that's
was
what I'm
like, yeah,
saying.
facts, bro, facts. And then he got
From
mentally,
my memory, maybe you remember, Jay. Did
yeah.
Robbie beat that dude that you're
Yeah, he
talking
did.
about?
At the end when he got
Okay,
bloodlusted,
okay,
he didn't just beat him, he fucking destroyed him. Like he could have even landed a shot. He was bitching him, like
gotcha.
he purposely dragged out the match to bitch him. And Quan was so that's the
See, that's the
bro.
thing though. If that's the case, I'm gonna be because like Miguel is blatantly contentious with them, like
Yeah,
because
yeah,
they
yeah.
fought
Facts,
in that
facts.
tournament too, and they were going back and forth,
Back and forth.
you know.
Yeah.
But if Robbie dominated like that, then that's without even a question that Robbie's above Miguel too.
Yeah,
Towards the
Robbie,
end of
he
Cobra
has that
Kai,
like
so
that Johnny Lawrence energy when he's bloodlusted. Like fucking.
Explaining complex topics can be challenging. Highlight the text you want to simplify and let Grammarly rewrite it. Grammarly makes your message clear so it's understood. Download it for free at Grammarly.com.
He cooks. I'm like, dude, damn. Like
and he was smart enough to learn offense and defense too.
yeah. He's like fucking Anakin Skywalker. He just knows both sides of the Force. Like, dude, he's a fucking
like Miguel didn't start learning offense until the last season.
yeah, literally.
He was just
barely,
strictly. Oh no,
yeah.
no, fuck! I'm fucking up. He didn't start learning defense until the last season.
Yeah, he didn't start learning. Like Robbie has almost perfect balance of Cobra Kai and fucking Miyagi-Do. So
He's had way more time with it. You know what I mean? So like, so you could technically argue, oh, it's kind of like, but at the same time, like, it's not an excuse for Miguel because he could have tried to learn the other side as well, but he wanted to do it last fucking minute. You know?
Facts. Yeah.
So.
He doesn't
It's kind of like Rock Lee and Naruto all over again, like all because Naruto's using his ninja equipment, but Rock Lee doesn't. You know, like he can fucking do it. There's no excuse. You know, like
yeah, exactly. Cobra Kai versus the Boys. Oh no, the boys still a better show. But yeah.
Cobra Kai, hands down. Yeah,
like Cobra Kai is really good, but not that good. Not as good as the
Cobra
Boys.
Kai is really good because of nostalgia. Let's be real.
Nostalgia is
with
big.
the Karate Kid movies, like that
Kid
was really popular, really big. Mr. Miyagi is the GOAT to this day.
The GOAT.
And then it was so popular, like after years went by, they did a reboot.
Yeah.
And did with Jackie Chan and Jaden Smith, and that didn't hit nowhere near as good, but it was still good. It was still cool.
Yeah, it's still cool.
But it was still cool. But that's what I'm saying. Like, so because of how legendary it was, how good, and mind you, that was like way back then, like old, like to where like it even had a severe disadvantage in like special effects, fighting choreography, all that shit, and it still was so fucking good.
It's fucking fire.
So like, not only is it solely nostalgic and legendary, so like just imagine coming to our current film time now, what we can do, and look how great it was. You know what I mean? Like, so
yeah, exactly.
You know,
and
it's fantastic.
Like sneak peek, the next video I'm gonna do Cobra Kai wise is actually no one's done this in the Cobra Kai community. It's gonna be young Danielson versus Miguel Diaz. Like if they were both teenagers. That's the next video I'm gonna do.
Okay.
I'll just say this without spoiling anything. It's really interesting how that fight works.
Very
It's really interesting. But yeah, I'll just leave it at that. To be honest,
he's literally Danielson 2.0. So, and then all you can do is just compare their feats. You know what I mean?
Like their feats, like their upbringing, everything. It's fucking.
And I will say this: mental capacity. I do think Daniel was more stronger when it came to will, though.
Yeah, Daniel's will.
I think I could be wrong because Miguel, like, whenever his shit starts getting to his head, like the whole spine shit, you know, and all that, or fear, it was kind of giving him, you know, a run, and he was fucking up because of it. But Daniel, like, don't get me wrong, he had his moment, but when Mr. Miyagi said, "Hey, lock the fuck in," he got it together.
He locked in. Yeah,
he said, "Stop being afraid, bro." You know, like
he beat some monsters. I mean, he beat Johnny. He beat Chosen.
Yeah, so like mental fortitude, I'll say that without a doubt. I think Daniel was better in, but as when it comes to fighting skill and feats, that's a whole other can of worms. And honestly, that's an interesting thing, dude. Yeah.
That definitely gets interesting. To be honest, Naruto can beat a lot of people with the shadow clones. Yeah, the shadow clones obviously give him an advantage. But
what's it called? Like, well, if we're saying like part one only, then no. It's good for like distractions and to like give openings and shit.
Yeah.
But we don't really see like his shadow clones. Like, if it depends what you're claiming, but I'm just because what you said was vague. But if you're saying like as like backpack material or to beat people alone, we don't see that until the war where he has like his KCM
really utilizes it. Yeah, exactly.
So.
But yeah, folks, any questions at all? Cobra Kai is fucking fire. I'm gonna definitely do more. Cobra Kai
my bad.
content.
Kakuzu arc too. And once we hit Kakuzu arc with the Rising Shuriken, that's when he's very, very good with his shadow.
Yeah, he starts to get really clever with them. Yeah,
like really, really smart. Yeah, and utilizing their full like stat potential and shit. And part one, he just does it for the number event, and then just to try to overwhelm you or distract you.
Yeah, it's basically getting jumped. Basically, is what he.
Because every time he does shadow clones, they all get dealt with instantly. Every time, unless he gets like a Nine Tails amp or a mental amp, and then he summons like 2,000. Fuck, you know what I mean? Then it's like, oh yeah, now you're fucked.
Or some shit. Yeah,
Yeah, like
exactly.
and then Gara, like his V2
Fucking
Gara and
Gara.
shit. But
Yeah.
but other than that, like whenever he just does like his normal amount of shot clone, which is still a lot, but everybody just no diffs it. They're like, bitch, get that shit out of here. And
Facts.
it's hilarious too, because like the joning when they were in the stands, they were like, oh my god, like that's a joning level technique, and he can do so many. Like, damn, you know what I mean? Like, okay, we
Yeah.
fuck with you, Naruto, and then next thing you know, Neji's like, get that shit out of here, bitch,
Yeah,
and then
like
Sasuke's
fucking
like, get
one
that shit
like
out of
no
here,
dishing
bitch,
all
with
their
fire
asses.
style, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
facts. But yeah, facts. Any questions at all though, folks? It can be Cobra Kai, it can be obviously anime, fucking comic books. I've been reading a lot of comics actually lately. Um, but yeah, anything at all, feel free, folks. Sports as well. The combat sports world's been interesting. Conor McGregor apparently is fighting Logan Paul in India. It hasn't been like officially confirmed, but Conor tweeted it.
What
Um,
format? Boxing or
yeah,
UFC?
boxing, definitely boxing.
But Connor's a
Uh,
fucking idiot, bro.
Yeah, dude. That's definitely only for money. That's the only reason to fight
Yeah,
fucking Logan
definitely for
Paul.
money, but it's like, bro, do what you like, you know what I mean? Like, because like he's technically putting on himself at a disadvantage. Now, I'm gonna say this: it is Logan Paul. If it was Jake, he's
Oh,
getting
Jake would be
bitched.
dangerous. Jake would
Yeah,
be
Jake is
dangerous.
he's because that's his shit for boxing. I'm not saying
Yeah,
Jake's a fucking great boxer, but you get what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
good enough to give him problems.
but
Yeah,
Logan, I could see that potentially being contentious, or Connor maybe winning. But the problem though is Logan did do boxing for a while, and then he stopped and then did wrestling. So
yeah.
I don't know, you know,
He's probably
but
not seasoned right now. Yeah, because he hasn't boxed in a while. He's been doing
uh,
WWE and shit. But
that'll probably
Connor,
be interesting though. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Connor's not seasoned either. He's been fucking on his
I know,
yacht, fucking partying.
like
Like,
guys, like we've seen it time and time again. There's so many examples, and Jay knows this. But like,
yeah,
you could be a great UFC fighter, but then you try to get with like some person that's not even the best in boxing, but just like an average Joe, and that average Joe would beat the best UFC fighter because it's just
yeah.
completely different. It's
Like, look
not
at
the same.
the guys Jake has beaten. Some of them are legends. Now Woodley, Tyron Woodley, the guy he beat twice and knocked out cold. I think the second time or the first time.
Yeah,
Woodley was one of the best welterweights of all time. He wasn't known
facts.
for striking, but he was elite in MMA in the UFC. He was a champion,
Yeah,
one of the most dominant, in the last 15 years. And Jake knocked him the fuck out. And Woodley wasn't super old. He was mid 30s
no,
maybe. So that's not like
yeah,
a
it's
fucking old
just.
ass Woodley. That's a
Yeah,
good
boxing
fighter.
is different. Boxing is
Uh,
literally a chess match, leveling out your fatigue and stamina. It's all about timing and technique, and it's just completely different. While UFC is just like, oh, just go fuck up that guy, right? Your knees,
yeah,
grappling, whatever, anything goes, and you could just do whatever fighting style you got. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
it's completely different pressure. It's different stamina. Outputs. So like again, it's just like, and we see the same shit on the other spectrum too. You see one of the best boxers try to do some UFC, they get fucking destroyed to a
Destroyed,
bum,
yeah.
or average UFC dude, not even the best, So
Yeah. $5
um,
from Kendrick. Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that.
yeah,
Definitely gotta let me see what you said. Let me put it on the screen real quick. We got you, brother. Appreciate that, brother.
appreciate it.
First super chat of 2025, guys. If
Let's
DC and
get
Marvel
it.
had a
Happy New
crossover,
Year again.
yeah,
Yeah.
Happy New Year, folks. If DC and Marvel had a crossover, what would be your dream fight? Do hero versus hero, hero versus villain, villain versus villain. All right, so hero versus hero fight,
Hmm.
dream fight crossover. That's a good question.
Ah,
Batman versus Iron Man would be one of them, for sure.
yeah, that would be a great fight. Yeah, because
Yeah.
people normally try to go to like fucking Cap, and no, Batman slams Cap. That's
Oh
not
yeah,
even
facts,
like.
facts. Yeah.
Yeah, like fucking but yeah, no, definitely Batman and Iron Man, because since they're composite, it obviously depending on what versions is either gonna make the fight really contentious, or it's just gonna be a slam in favor for
Slaughter.
Iron or Batman.
Yeah.
So like most versions though, I would definitely still lean towards Batman because he has this crazy feats and
Yeah,
crazy
more
gadgets he
feats.
can use at any fucking point in time.
Intellect.
And
Yeah.
if Iron Man is over here losing to people like Spider-Man, and the list goes on, right? Just a bunch of heavy hitters, right, or whatever, or not even that bad, but like that's the problem with Iron Man. He has a really really bad track record when it comes to win loss. While
Facts, facts.
Batman, 9 out of 10 times he's fucking winning. Like
He's
the
winning.
only times he's
Yeah.
ever fucking lost is if he got outsmarted by Joker or mentally nerfed, or if it was Bane fucking outsmarting him,
Fucking
and
Bane.
he just
Yeah.
underestimated their first encounter. Or Deathstroke when they had their first encounter and he couldn't physically keep up. Like
Yeah.
so like. But for the most part, Batman's track record is like just insane. Like he always wins because he outsmarts or his gadgets, whatever, so on and so
Yeah.
forth. But
That
so yeah, like Batman and Iron Man, that's a very good one. especially depending on the versions.
Yeah, Batman's more consistent. Yeah, like you said, with
Yeah.
winning. He's
Facts.
more built for battle. Now Iron Man,
And overall, he has
yeah,
an advantage too. Overall, he's
yeah,
just built different. You
yeah.
know,
But,
Iron Man
overall,
relies on a fucking suit.
yeah, he's more suitable for battle overall, from an intellectual standpoint. Obviously, from a physical standpoint, that's obvious. From a knowledge standpoint, now Iron Man, the only thing he'd have the advantage of is the technological knowledge, like the intellect as far as
Facts.
technology. There, he's like one of the greatest minds in the Marvel verse, along with like Reed Richards and Bruce Banner and stuff like that, Hank
Yeah.
Pym. But as far as overall
Batman
battle,
stops either though. That's the
yeah,
crazy
Batman's not
thing.
dumb though. Batman is not dumb in that
That's
field
the crazy
either.
thing, Jay. Like, that's not even his specialty, which is even more like impressive. Like, Batman's
Yeah,
made some crazy fucking suits.
crazy.
His most powerful suit literally impressed the World Forger alien dude, who's literally like the son of like the omnipotent goddess, whatnot, that the
Yeah,
Batman Who Laughs eventually manipulates and defeats her somehow, whatever. But like he could do some crazy fucking feats of
yeah,
making suits too. So even he's no fucking
yeah.
slouch.
He's
But
definitely not no slouch. Definitely not no
yeah, like
slouch.
bro, like the man made a suit out of like a mother box and then element X, which basically allows the suit to do literally whatever the fuck he wants, and he can control your will and heart. Basically, he can
Yeah,
rewrite your heart and rewrite your cells by cells. Basically, that's just insane.
that's fucking
Like,
crack that shit. So that's
yeah,
probably the
like
number
but to
one.
be fair, Iron Man can do the same shit. We're not saying he can't either. Like
Yeah,
if
he
he
has
was
some
given the
suits that are
same
cracked.
resource, yeah,
Yeah,
like if he got the mother box or element X, he could do the same shit, probably even better, right? Because that's his specialty. But
yeah,
I'm just saying, like Batman's still up there, but yeah, that's
yeah.
what you're working
That's
with.
probably
But
the number one hero versus hero. As far as hero versus villain, honestly,
yeah,
what would be dope ass fight would be Joker versus Spider Man, just to see the not even just the physical battle, but like
and the narrative like
the
value
narrative.
of it, yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah.
narrative. Like Peter
Like
Parker.
could he break Spider-Man? That's the
Yeah,
question. You know
like
what I
cause
mean?
Peter Parker's
Because
will.
Batman, he has crazy willpower, bro.
Oh yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah. All the
crazy.
things Joker's done to him, like
He still
torturing.
hasn't broken. He still hasn't break.
Yeah,
Like he's come close. I'll say that
yeah,
close, but he's never killed. Never. Spider-Man, though, we've seen that he has his limits. We've seen it many
yeah.
times to the contrary. Like
He can be
to where
angry
if
for
Green
sure.
Goblin pushes him enough, or Kingpin pushes him enough, he's actually eventually willing to kill. And it always takes somebody to stop him. You know.
Yeah, someone has to kind of bring him back to his
But
senses. Like,
so I would be real. Joker might. He might actually be able to break Spider-Man because
yeah,
like Spider-Man,
Joker.
he's yeah.
Yeah,
But
his chaotic
it's interesting.
nature. Yeah, his
Yeah.
chaotic nature. Honestly, I don't think it's something Spider-Man has ever seen. Yeah, like his rogue gallery's cool. Like he has Green Goblin. He's pretty maniacal. There's
Yeah.
the Doc Ock, but Joker is in another level of chaos. He's another level of.
Jay, that's bad too because see Batman, because he's Batman and everything he knows, that's why he's able to keep up or even like outsmart Joker or beat him.
Yeah,
Spider-Man though, he doesn't have that same intellectual capacity as Batman for like like the technician and strategy. Right? Like I'm not saying
yeah,
Spider-Man's dumb. He is
yeah.
very
He's not dumb.
smart,
Yeah,
but he doesn't focus that intellect in the way Batman and Joker does.
yeah,
And so like he's gonna really struggle with how chaotic Joker is. Like he's gonna be
yeah.
constantly like playing the guessing game, trying to keep up or like what he's doing, and like that's gonna be very like tough for
Honestly,
Spider-Man.
yeah.
Like
Like
it's gonna be Green Goblin but on steroids.
yeah, he's
Like,
Green Goblin on steroids from as far as
yeah.
his, his evilness, and his conviction is going to be tested. His ideology would be tested. Joker is someone that could possibly break Peter. There's not many people that could, but I think he's one of them.
Yeah.
Like he's one of those guys that breaks almost anyone. Batman just happens to be one of the most strong-willed, characters to ever live. But
Facts.
Peter's not weak-willed by any means, but this guy would test him in different ways that not even Green Goblin has tested him. Honestly, it'd be some fucked up shit. We all know what Joker's done. But
Yeah. Another one too, Hulk and Doomsday.
oh,
That's
that'll
a
be
great one.
lit. That'll be lit.
Great
That would
one.
just be
Yep.
a fucking
Yeah,
a
because
fucking
I'm sorry,
bloodbath.
because people always try to lean like Superman and Hulk. I'm sorry, but Superman's way like above Hulk. Like most versions of Hulk,
Most versions,
way above.
yeah, way too much.
Like if we're talking like just straight normal Savage Hulk, which has a limited amount of power until he gets angry, Superman will bully the fuck out of that dude. You know what I
Probably
mean?
throw
Like
his ass into space and
Doomsday
shit.
though, he starts at certain levels similar to Hulk. Like he'll start at a very low and they get stronger and stronger.
That would be fire.
Time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
that would be great. Hulk and Doomsday. Now I'm gonna say this, like I would lean towards Hulk for the most part because he has the advantage of getting stronger on the fly, while
Yeah.
Doomsday has to die.
He has to evolve. Yeah, he has
Um,
to evolve.
yeah, so Hulk would probably, but that would still just be like a great fucking fight. Or let's say if you give like Doomsday the scale advantage right from the get, but not to where like he can just immediately knock out the Hulk or beat him. Where then it's like contentious enough to where like now Hulk's channeling his rage, and it would just be a crazy fucking
That would
fight.
be
You know what I mean?
sick.
Like,
Their nature similar. Like when Hulk is when Bruce is embracing Hulk, his nature is very similar to Doomsday. It's just kill or be killed type mentality. Doomsday is just a kill machine. Hulk at his most savage is also the same. He's just a kill machine. So that would be a fire. As far as villain versus villain, man. Maybe like Doctor Doom versus
I'd
like
say yeah, Doctor Doom and the Batman Who Laughs.
that
That
be
would be
fire.
great.
Yeah,
That would
be
be
fire.
great. Doctor
Oh,
Doom and the Batman Who
yeah.
Laughs.
You know, it'd be fire. It'd be Darkseid versus fucking Thanos. That'd be
Thanos,
fire,
and
dude.
I was about to say that too.
Yeah,
I think out of every villain, to be fair, if we think hard on this, you could probably think of other legendary ones too. But
yeah.
I feel like hands down top three: Doctor Doom and Batman Who Laughs, and Thanos and Darkseid.
That's
Just
fire.
hands down, dude.
Yeah, that would be fire. Like combat wise, this fucking that would be fire. Just to see that spectacle, I'd be like, fuck, man.
Because they're both like Thanos and Darkseid, both very smart, both very powerful and whatnot.
Yeah.
So like that'd be very interesting. And depending on versions, like it'd be really interesting. Now, if we do like maxed out, like if we do like the majority of what Darkseid is normally at and Thanos in comparison, technically Darkseid has the stat advantage. Like he could just easily deal with Thanos. But let's say we do like certain composite version of Thanos to where he's at least able to match with that one. Now it boils down to intellect, whatever, and fighting. That's very fucking interesting, dude. Very interesting, especially if we give Thanos the Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh shit,
that's interesting too.
Yeah,
there's certain dark sides that can fuck with that.
We better give him like the fucking anti-life equation or some shit. Shit
right?
Like
well, if we do that, then that's not even a competition.
That's not fair. He's like omnipotent at that point.
But like for the most part, Darkseid technically has that. Like he's just unfortunately like
stats
the more
wise.
power, and it's not even. I wouldn't even really say intellect. It's just more brute power too.
Yeah,
like, he just has way better feats in comparison. But what's it called? But yeah, like that's a really interesting one. Like then you have the Thanos. That's like I forget what he's called, but he's like the. He's like King Thanos, to where he's like really, really fucking just like raw stats alone.
Yeah, he's like in his physical
that wouldn't
power.
be, that wouldn't be really great against certain versions of that. So like, like again, like they just both would be fucking fantastic. But yeah, no, the Batman Who Laughs and Doctor Doom, that's just like. That's just so great in so many levels because like it should, and we're saying like strategy prep because if we obviously throw the Batman Who Laughs in a room with Doctor Doom would technically have the advantage because the suit armor he has, that armor suit is really fucking strong. Like don't get me wrong, Batman Who Laughs has crazy fucking gadgets, but the problem though is most of the things that he obtains was through with prep though, and how he beat it. Like bro, the guy beat the fucking Spectre. That's an omnipotent
That's fucking
being.
crazy.
That's God's wrath, Presence wrath.
That's like
Presence is literally the copycat of the One Above All. And so like imagine the One Above All like making some like God, right? And like, hey, you do this, whatever. And Batman Who Laughs said, yeah, I'm gonna fuck you up, bitch.
Fucking beats
like
him.
he beat everybody. He beat everyone on Earth, beat everyone in space. Like that's just insane. Like fucking insane.
Like he needs time. That's the thing. He needs time to.
But Doctor Doom is no slouch either though. Like he has crazy prep time feats.
Yeah.
Defeating basically almost everybody, or like becoming or stealing the Beyonder's power. Like they do similar things. Like the Batman Who Laughs, he took Perpetua's power and Dr. Manhattan's power, two omnipotent beings. He just took them both. Yeah, he outsmarted them, took them both. While Doctor Doom did it with the Beyonder, it's the same shit, like so. Like they're both they're very similar in many ways.
Yeah.
What's it called? I will say this though, if we give them prep time, okay, and so on and so forth, I'm still leaning towards Batman Who Laughs because he technically like overall skill and whatnot, like he has more in favor, while Doctor Doom does severely rely on sorcery and his armor suit, you know what I mean, and whatnot. Or to like try to steal people's shit, while Batman Who Laughs is very like he can manipulate you. He's Joker and Batman. He's both. Yeah, he's very well rounded. So like I feel like I'd still be leaning, but it's still very contentious. Like
the battle.
Many ways to advocate for Doom.
It'd be a literal battle on impotence for sure. So
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like if they go the omnipotent route, like that's gonna be some shit.
it's like
But
fucking
if
gods
they just do
fighting.
like the intellect game, that's really interesting. That's because it boils down to the question if Doctor Doom could be smart enough to kill Batman Who Laughs because he's still a human, right?
Yeah.
And then it boils down to the question if Batman Who Laughs can just outsmart and somehow deal with his armored suit and kill Doctor Doom. You know what I mean? Right? That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's just it's really, really fucking interesting to think about. So
Yeah,
I'm very surprised nobody's ever made a YouTube video on that either, because I've actually looked it up months ago and nobody's done that
yeah,
topic.
that's a
But,
good matchup. Thematically,
yeah.
just like aesthetically, there's many reasons why
If
that's
if you
interesting.
want to learn a lot about Doctor Doom, Chuck made a video about him, about how powerful and how cracked he is, and it's a
Yeah.
great video.
Yeah,
Great video.
Chuck does good. He makes good
So,
comic book content for sure.
yeah.
Black Panther versus Deathstroke. Black Panther, what he has going for him is his like what he
The
wears, right?
vibranium suit. Yeah.
Vibranium. Honestly, Deathstroke is the better combatant skill
Yeah, he's
wise.
a better combat. Yeah, and
Yeah,
he's like so like here's the thing like if they're just going at it like with their suits, technically Panther has the edge because he has like a fucking broken ass metal
vibranium.
suit. Like
Yeah,
he's basically invincible. Like unless you're like fucking Hulk, like some crazy heavy hitter, you're not getting through that. You
yeah,
know what
you're
I mean?
not
So
hurting him.
like that's the problem. So to be fair, Deathstroke won't really be able to do anything. But if you give Deathstroke like his gadgets he'll normally utilize, or even prep, I could see Deathstroke definitely beating Black Panther
Yeah,
for
with
sure.
prep, yeah, I would lean towards
With
Deathstroke
prep,
for
yeah,
sure.
he's done some great, bro. The man fucking with prep stole the Speed Force from Flash and did some crazy shit. Like he has a lot of crazy fucking prep feats.
Yeah,
He even like got a sword that was able to injure Superman and shit.
yeah, he's fucking crazy.
Um,
He's like always a step behind Batman, but that's not even
yeah.
like a bad thing. It just shows
No,
how
it's not.
fucking
Yeah, being below
uh,
Batman is not even a bad. Yeah, like and the fact that Batman even considers him a threat, even though Batman always beats his ass, even hand to hand, forever and on. Like Deathstroke can't fuck with him anymore.
yeah,
And obviously prep battle, like this Batman would slam. But yeah, the fact that he at least relative, right? He's
yeah,
relative in certain regards. Like that's pretty fucking impressive. So yeah, I would if it's prep, I'm leaning towards Deathstroke. If it's just like you put him in a fucking room, unfortunately, like I would have to analyze the standard equipment Deathstroke has, but if the standard equipment he has is not able to do anything to his suit, then he's fucked. Like I don't
yeah.
see how he's gonna win that.
If he has no
Yeah.
like AP or hack type gadgets that could bypass
Yeah.
the vibranium durability, yeah, he's losing. I mean, there's nothing he could do at that point. But
Yeah.
with prep,
Like
I'm sure he would prepare for that. Yeah, so
oh, facts. Yeah,
he
he'll
definitely.
do like and Black Panther, he's no slouch in the prep game too. Because I
Yeah,
know
he's not
he's very
dumb. But
smart
yeah,
and he'll
he's not
like prep
dumb.
like he's made like a fucking Hulkbuster suit. He has contingency plans for the Avengers and even his own wife, Storm from the X-Men. Like, bro,
Yeah,
so he's very similar to Batman in some regards. The only problem is I don't know his track record and I don't know how competent he is in initiating and successfully completing those plans.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
the issue.
Like he's definitely
Um,
obviously formidable, but
yeah.
feats wise, it doesn't seem he's on Deathstroke's level. But it's interesting depending on the
It's a good,
scenario.
yeah, it's interesting. It is, and I know he's a good martial arts combatant, but I'm pretty sure Deathstroke has that over him.
Yeah,
Like DC, like they're very, very, very strong when it comes to combat fighters. They have a
yeah.
lot of really good fighters, dude.
Like fucking Batman
So
having knowing like
I'm not saying
100.
Marvel doesn't either, but I feel like DC definitely has the edge in martial arts.
Yeah,
So,
facts. Definitely. Yeah.
um,
But yeah, folks, any questions at all? Batman slams Cap, I agree. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's
Cities.
not even yeah, like bro, like we technically in the Marvel and DC crossover, we saw them fight, and Batman he beat him up. Like they were going like blow for blow, whatever, right? But then Batman starts getting more serious, and then he just outsmarts and just deals with him effortlessly, and that was it. Like it just he beat the fuck out of him. Like it wasn't really a
Yeah, facts.
competition, and it makes sense. Like Batman is no fucking joke as a fighter. Cap is good, but he's not Batman level good. He's not.
Yeah, no,
But
no.
Cap isn't even fucking Shang-Chi or Iron Fist level. Like those two would even beat Cap in just a straight
Yeah.
hand-to-hand fight.
He's just like a
Um,
gifted hand-to-hand combatant, but he's not like fucking world
yeah,
class best of the
yeah,
best
no,
type.
like Shang-Chi against Batman, that's a good one. Like just martial art, like Shang-Chi, that's his shit. He's fucking what's it called? Like I would still lean towards Batman. The only person in Marvel that's fucking with Batman is the Karate Kid. That's literally his name. He's called
Yeah.
Karate Kid, and he can do ridiculous fucking shit. Ridiculous.
Yeah, he's like godlike combatant or
Yeah,
some
like he's
shit.
like a fucking crazy combatant, dude. Like his martial arts is so crazy good he can fucking fight gods and aliens and shit. Like he's no fucking joke. And Batman, he's done similar things too, but that's actually a very good fight. And Shang-Chi would be like second. Then you got like Iron Fist, but Iron Fist, he's not really Batman's level. He's more of like a Nightwing combatant level.
Yeah, facts.
But that's another one. Daredevil and Nightwing. I think that's really good.
That'd be
I
a
think
good
Nightwing
fight.
wins, but
Yeah, I'd
that's a
agree.
good
I
fight.
agree. Yeah, Dick would probably beat Daredevil.
Because
Yeah.
he has gadgets. He'll be smarter. He'll even immediately know he's blind and shit. Try to exploit that, But
Yeah, I
fighting wise, that's pretty good.
Grayson. Yeah, I'd probably lean towards him. Top 5 sitcoms.
But that's the problem. Like, it would be a great fight, but Grayson's just better in every regard. Fighting, intellect. Like, he was trained from Batman, and Nightwing is such a great fighter. He literally can give Batman a run for his money sometimes, and that's very impressive. Batman, like
fucking even Bruce sees him like, oh yeah, you could even beat Batman if I'm not around, type shit. So. Like
literally, and then everybody always says Nightwing's like hands down like the most insane hand-to-hand combat fighter in DC.
Yeah, he's a dog. So, like he beats Damian Wayne's ass. Bruce's son all the time and shit. So he's a fucking stud. I mean, he's a dog. Top 5 sitcoms of all time. Man, that's tough. I'd probably throw The Office in there. I'm an Office fan. Sitcoms. What else? Maybe South Park. I feel like South Park's pretty iconic.
Yeah, it's really good.
Really good. What else? Fucking.
There's a lot of them, to be honest. Like,
so
Family
many.
Guy, you got fucking there's so many, but
fucking.
Really, it just depends on the category. Like, we would have to analyze or dissect certain categories of that, and
it depends on like the main factor you're considering. Like criteria.
Yeah, because there's just some things when you just try to do like a broader or a general consensus, like sometimes that's just not possible because certain things could just be different. Like, for instance, like comparing Naruto to Dragon Ball Z, like those are two completely different things,
Yeah, exactly. Maybe
But
The Simpsons. I mean, this is all biased, but Simpsons is fucking iconic.
very, very,
very iconic.
If we're just saying iconic, then you got like Sonic, you got Mario, you got Kirby too. But that's like more long game side of shit though. But
yeah, honestly, maybe like fucking. I mean, this is a kid sitcom, like fucking iCarly. That was pretty huge back in the day.
that was Jake and Josh.
Yeah, Jake and Josh, pretty fire. What other Seinfeld? I didn't ever
Breaking
watch
Bad.
Seinfeld. Oh, that shit's fire. Yeah, Seinfeld. I know is a sitcom, but I didn't grow up watching it. But I know it's like big.
Yeah.
I'll throw some of those in the top 5 or considered. With prep time, Batman can beat gods. Oh yeah, he's beating gods. Yeah.
Doctor Doom's done the same though.
Yeah, those guys are fucking cracked. How far does Death from Marvel go in DC? Death from Marvel.
Death. He's talking about like the entity Death, the one that Thanos is in love with and doing crazy shit.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. You guys, hey, don't get this twisted. Thanos is he's a simp. That bitch,
facts.
that man is so like obsessed with that chick because she rejects him over and over. He'll literally be willing to fucking destroy the whole multiverse and universe over her, bitch.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't do that in the MCU. That would have been a dumbass reason for him to snap his fingers.
He's a simp, bro. Bro, Deadpool stole his girl and he got pissed.
Yeah, Deadpool is just because he has swag. He just took his girl.
He got that riz, man.
He has riz. It's just like, dude, come on.
Bro, Thanos got so mad when Deadpool like won the death over and like she fell in love with him instead of him. Like, he got so mad he literally made Deadpool immortal so he couldn't die.
Yeah, literally. Well,
so he couldn't see her anymore.
Yeah, fucking. Well, Death is like beyond universal. I think Death
let
is,
me
like,
see her skill. I think she might be omnipotent. Yeah, let me.
In that case, the only people that would even stand a chance would be like gods or fucking DC.
Yeah, be God. I think she is omnipotent. Let me check. Hang on. Yeah, she's a cosmic being, personification of death itself.
Causality.
She's an important part of the cosmic balance. Yeah. So that right there, I know she's gonna be really fucking cracked. Let me see.
High out
powers. Okay, I'm looking at powers now. Yeah, you're right, Jay. She's nigh omnipotent. So yeah, a cosmic level entity. She literally cannot die no matter what, unless you're like smart enough to figure out how to deal with that. Power cosmic, unlimited ability to manipulate reality, time, space. Yeah, like she's fucking crazy.
Yeah, honestly, you'd have to like go to the top of the DC verse to defeat her.
Yeah. Or you need like Batman or Doctor Doom level like prep. You know,
Yeah.
like
How to like destroy an omnipotent
so,
fucking entity? Yeah, no.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, the top combatants like gods would have to fight her. It's crazy.
Yeah, and that so basically DC's equivalents of which those exist, you know, of whatever, and then it just boiled down to like their abilities, right? You know what I mean, because they
Yeah.
have the same power level, then okay, then what's their abilities, you know?
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
um,
Um, but yeah, folks, any
oh,
questions at
another one
all?
I just thought of, Jay, the fucking Carnage versus the Red Lantern. They're both
Oh,
filled
that'd
with
be sick.
rage and
Yeah.
fucking yeah, and hatred.
Yeah,
So.
thematically, it just makes sense to pit those guys up against each other. Fucking the
Yeah,
Red
yeah,
Lantern
because the red
versus
symbiotes, they're purely filled from rage and like just violence and hatred.
yeah,
Because they're the because Venom, because when Venom got like so angry and vengeful, and when he felt betrayed when Spider-Man like took his symbiote off, he like gave birth to Carnage, and then Carnage was like just the evil incarnate, basically.
literally. Yeah,
And then the Red
fucking
Lantern, their whole shit is based on their rage and anger.
yeah. That's like
So.
what fuels their fucking rings. Yeah,
Bro,
literally.
imagine the Hulk with the Red Lantern ring. Oh my
Oh
god.
God, he's unstoppable. He already is unstoppable. He'd be fucking
Bro,
like fucking
no,
even
no one's
worse.
fucking with him, bro. Not even the one above all, not the presidents, like
Nobody.
nobody. Like, bro, if you put him at his like most insane rage anger level, and then give the Red Lantern amp on top of it, like, come on.
He's godlike. I mean, he's a god. Yeah, at that point.
Oh
But yeah,
shit.
folks, any questions at all? Feel free. Any questions at all? Be about
Yes,
comics, could be about
sir.
anything at all. So why you guys ask some more questions?
Oh, Moon Knight and Red Hood. That's a good one.
Oh, that's a good one right there. Very similar character, like
Yeah,
characters, very similar conviction, ideologies.
they
Yeah,
both willing to kill and
both willing to
shit.
kill.
Yeah.
That's a good one right there.
I will say I do think Red Hood is the better combatant though.
Yeah,
Overall you need it. But Moon Knight where he shines is, he's very wealthy, so he has like a bunch of gadgets and shit similar to Batman. But to be fair, like Red Hood wouldn't have that issue either. But what's it called? Like so they're very similar. I would lean towards Red Hood, but that is a pretty cool fight though. Like I think it would be a
yeah,
great fight though.
yeah.
So
Jason, anyone that learns from fucking Bruce, yeah,
yeah.
it's hard to beat
Like,
them.
but Moon Knight, he's scary, bro, because his fighting style, he'll just take the beat. Like, he won't even like avoid certain strikes, or which, to be fair, that could be also counterintuitive for him, especially against like
Yeah,
a skilled fighter like Jason. Because the moment he
might
picks on
exploit
that
that.
aggressive fighting style where he just likes to
Uh,
take it, he could do like pressure points or nerve strikes, and then now he's
yeah,
fucked. You know,
he's gonna
so
exploit
but
that style. Yeah, if he
yeah.
sees when he
But,
sees that. Did you like Super Saiyan Vegeta 3 and Dama? They need to explain why he didn't use it against Beerus. So against
well, there's no
Beerus,
point because Goku, like, bro, like,
yeah,
yeah,
there's a couple of things logically you could say as to why he didn't. One, in the Battle of Gods movie, he was bloodlusted because fucking Beerus slapped fucking Bulma,
yeah.
and essentially he didn't really give a fuck about what transformation he was using. He just wanted to
He just wanted to
fucking
fucking hurt him. Yeah,
yeah, he just wanted to scrap, and he ended up going. I think it was like Super Saiyan 2 or something, but
yeah.
um, yeah, it's. I'll just say
And
this.
not only that, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, bro, Goku did Super Saiyan 3 and got bitched.
Yeah, it didn't
Like,
matter anyway. It didn't matter anyway. And I'll say
uh,
this, that transformation. I mean, I'll say this. It would have been cool to see it when it was useful. Like during the maybe like the Buu saga.
isn't it a double-edged sword from my memory too, though? Like, it makes you really strong, but there's like it's kind of like similar to the gates somehow. Like, I don't remember what it was,
Like very
but like there was
taxing.
a reason why
Yeah,
Goku like didn't use it a lot or count on it a lot either, because like there's some type of issue though. I don't remember.
yeah. I know it's very taxing to use that,
Like
especially for
that's what it was. Yeah, taxing
yeah,
of stamina, or like he can't be in it for long. Yeah,
yeah,
so
especially back then.
yeah.
I really fucked with it though. In Dama when he used it as a kid against the Tanigami, I think it's called,
So
when he
what we
fought
need
for
to
the
see
Dragon
now
Ball.
is Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Vegeta go at it. Shit.
That'll be sick. They need
That'd
to
be
do that
great.
shit. They spar
Yeah.
like now as
And it
kids
just
and shit.
boiled down to their martial arts at that point, Like
Literally.
and to be fair, I think Goku would probably if he does the fair and square route, then it's interesting. But if anything goes, he'll probably stack Kaioken though.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
but
Can you scale Batman with prep? This is gonna sound really dumb, but essentially Batman with prep is only limited by the writer. I know that sounds fucking
yeah,
stupid, but
literally.
it's that
Yeah.
simple. I mean, the things he's done, he's
Like
outsmarted.
he's done, yeah, he's
Like,
fucking beaten gods, he's beaten cosmic entities, he's and then to be fair, I know this is Joker and Batman, but it still counts because that Batman is the exact same replica of our Batman. The only difference, and it's stated verbatim and it's explained. The only difference is he was in the negative multiverse, the dark multiverse, instead of the positive. And to where basically everything wrong just happens there. While in the light multiverse, it's it's not. There could be good endings or whatever, blah blah, or heroes trying to or defeating the villains, basically. But yeah, it's the same exact Batman, but the only difference is the Joker was successful with it's basically our Batman, but he was actually successful and broke him, and then he basically he was willing to kill, and because he killed the Joker, it backfired, and Joker had a contingency plan for him killing him, and it turned him into the Joker. And then it basically merged both of them together, and it's still basically Batman, like physical stats, his intellect, resources, whatever. The only difference is now he has that chaotic component, and the no basically no morality. You know what I mean?
No
Like
morality,
he doesn't care. He's willing to kill. He'll do basically whatever it takes now, right, to fucking beat you. That's why there's the famous saying and quote: "A Batman who laughs is a Batman that can never lose because he has no morality.
Yeah,
like he doesn't care. He's just chaos. You know,
he has no code.
So
He's basically
yeah,
Joker.
yeah.
It's like it's Batman with Joker's like moral compass, basically.
Yeah. So the only reason why I'm like, I know it's different, but at the same time, it still counts because really the only difference is just him being willing to kill now and just being more, basically him being willing to do things he typically wouldn't do if he was just Batman. That's what I'm getting at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because Batman has a moral code. Not only will he not kill, but he also won't want to learn magic. He won't want to he doesn't want to take shortcuts. You know what I mean? Like he has a type of code to where he'll try to beat you as fair and square as much as possible as he can, and not always do like some outrageous fucking shortcuts or whatever. Like Batman, if he wanted to, he could easily steal a fucking omnipotent being's power, or go find a fucking tool and whatever, so on and so forth, right? Like we've seen what he can do and what he's gotten, but he doesn't want to do that because there would be no story. You know what I mean? Like there's no point. And again, he has his morals. With the Batman Who Laughs, he doesn't give a fuck. He just wants to destroy everything and just have fun, So that's why he was willing to manipulate an omnipotent being, Perpetua, who is like the goddess of the DC multiverse. Fucking manipulate her, take her power, fucking take Dr. Manhattan's power, and not even
literally
with that bitch, who is another omnipotent, smarter than that motherfucker, or whatever, or did something. So like again, like he took two omnipotent beings and just took all their power, and it's like, you know what? Like he said, fuck the planning, the strategy. He's like, nah, I'm just gonna get power itself, and I can do whatever I want, right? So again, like that's kind of like the main difference. So with that being said, if we take the difference component out and we don't remove that handicap, then Batman would still be willing to do the same shit. Meaning, like Jay said, the sky is the fucking limit. It just depends on the writing, basically.
Yeah, at that point, depends on the writing. And the Batman Who Laughs, like Alfred said, just wants to watch the world burn, like he said in The Dark Knight when he was talking about Joker. That's basically Batman's skill with the Joker's moral compass to just create a monster, which is what we saw.
Like if Batman was willing to kill and had no morals anymore, and it's just our Batman, even without the Joker shit, he could do literally the same exact shit, the same fucking shit.
Literally, would take over, and you would need like.
And we've seen it. Whenever there's an evil Batman, the whole multiverse is being threatened. Whenever there's an evil Superman, it's just like the fucking universe. You know what I mean? Or whatever, and blah blah. Like it's not even the same emphasis. Like
exactly. It's not the same at all. What fictional character could beat Naruto with all jutsu?
With
Goku.
all jutsu?
If we don't equalize physical, like power scaling stats, there are many. Goku, fucking.
Bro, he literally he has every hacks you could think of. He can't die. He has amps upon amps upon amps that just gives him like infinite fucking power, basically.
Yeah.
Like it's just like a Naruto with every fucking jutsu. Because I'm pretty sure you guys have probably seen Swag's vid, but like he's just broken. Like he basically, it would take like some omnipotent being, like that he would have to basically fight and go against. And
what really would make the difference would be the fucking amps. That would make the difference because if he has every amp and you theoretically conclude and consider he's combining every fucking amp in Naruto, then you would need like a fucking god to essentially beat Naruto, or like fucking multiversal, outerversal type being.
That's the only fucking way. Now if it's like Jay said, equal stats, you know what I mean, and whatnot, and it just boils down like, abilities and shit, then still Naruto because he just has all the
There's
fucking
so
hacks you
many.
can think of.
There's
He
so
can't
many.
even die.
Yeah, he has immortality. He has
Like, bro,
regeneration.
look at how bad Goku struggled when he was just dealing with time manipulation from hit. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like,
that's one
imagine what
hacks.
Naruto could do.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. You would need a godlike figure basically to beat Naruto. Honestly,
yeah. Now, but if it's just only jutsu and without the amps, and then Goku scaling, then Goku's slamming
oh
still.
yeah, he would fucking destroy
He
him.
wouldn't even be able to use his hacks or process or do shit. Like.
You get like instantly
Yeah.
blitzed. Yeah,
And
it'd be
that's like,
horrible.
and if it's like I'm talking about bloodlust, obviously if it's in character, then Naruto might actually win because Goku always wants to just have fun
Yeah,
and try to
he'd
be as
let
fair
you
as
power up.
possible, and Naruto would just take advantage of that. But
Yeah, he would let Naruto power up or like fucking start
yeah,
literally.
or like activate a hacks, or some
Yeah, or
shit. Yeah.
activate fucking hacks or like a genjutsu or some shit. So,
Yeah.
yeah, Naruto. If we include amps, you would need a godlike being. If you don't include amps, then any Universal Plus character would beat Naruto. Um, or
Vex.
yeah, without the amps. It really comes down to the scaling. So yeah,
Yeah, like, but yeah, a lot of people would beat him. Like Saitama would beat him.
Goku,
Goku would beat him. Like a lot of fucking people. But
Ichigo.
yeah, but if we
Yeah,
give his amps and all that, like Jay said, yeah, not even those motherfuckers are really well.
nah, yeah,
I can't
no,
really
they,
say for Saitama because I haven't seen all his shit. I heard like there's some
yeah,
crazy things with him
but
now, but I'm just assuming Saitama is maybe somehow similar to Goku or below. So if that's the case, then yeah, he would still slam. But
yeah.
what's it called? But yeah, that's just kind of what you want. Luffy, I don't know about a lot about Gear 5, so I
Luffy
can't
would
really
get
speak
fucking
for him.
killed even like
Yeah.
this
Bleach, I know would
Naruto.
win from what
Yeah.
Jay said in Shinobi,
Yeah,
because they're like
Current
universal
Bleach
level.
would beat
Yeah.
Naruto. Yeah, fucking Luffy
Yeah.
would lose to Naruto like Shippuden on. Like Luffy's not that strong,
Mm,
but at
okay.
least from what I know right, currently. But
Yeah.
is Batman and Joker the smartest hero villain of all time? The smartest. So overall, in like intellect, um,
So it's a tricky question to answer, and
yeah,
that's why Jay's like. So
it is
I'll say this
tricky.
really short and simple. If like when you're saying the smartest, like IQ wise, intellect, no, but they are because of how they use their limited intellect. That's that's where it's like for like Brainiac, he's fourth level intellect. You know what I mean? Like all that shit,
Yeah,
whatever
he's more
or
intellect,
whatever they're
more
fucking called. Yeah,
superior
yeah.
mind. Yeah,
He's like blatantly like in quantification, right? The superior mind. And Batman has like a normal, like I think it was like what 200 or so IQ,
yeah, like
whatever the
200
fuck it was.
IQ.
I forgot. Yeah, but because of how he utilizes his IQ and his intellect and how he's trying to whatever, he's still even able to surpass and outsmart beings like that. As crazy as that sounds,
Yeah.
that's just what it is, and that's what Joker does too. And so, technically, yes, they are the smartest. But if you're saying like in quantification value, then no. But
No, yeah, definitely not. You have like fucking computer 12th level intellects, like Batman said with
yeah,
Brainiac and fucking
and then you got the omnipotent beings that just know. I mean, so obviously, like not that either, So,
yeah.
but
But maybe
yeah,
as far as like iconic non-godlike, Batman's up there. Like
yeah,
non-godlike fucking entities, he's up there in intellectually.
yeah.
Joker, it's more so his chaotic nature. He's intelligent too. He's not dumb.
He has to
But
care enough. That's the problem with
yeah,
Joker. If he
yeah,
doesn't care, then
he has
he's
to be
not gonna fuck
willing.
whatever. Like there was
Yeah,
like that one story. I don't know if it was canon or not. I know it was like an Elseworld story, so maybe it still could be canon, but it was just a different universe. Maybe obviously not our DC because like there's stories that are like that where they are canon indeed, but they just happen at different. Similar to Marvel. Because there's
yeah.
different variants of every character and hero. But there's a Joker that like got bored and like somehow like it was like that imp that was like fucking
Oh
omnipotent
yeah.
and shit. He
Uh,
somehow like got his shit and stole his power.
well, his
And
powers.
then like yeah, and he just like fucking slammed everybody. Like fuck
Yeah, it was
yeah,
like
yeah.
that fifth dimensional being, fucking
Yeah.
Mister Mitspick or some shit,
Yeah, yeah,
something
the
like
one that
that.
like always trolls Superman too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and he's like fifth dimensional. He's like beyond our dimension, and he took
And
over.
Joker was smart enough to outsmart that motherfucker and
He
defeat
became
him.
like, I think that was like he became like someone called like King Emperor Joker or Emperor Joker or some shit, and he fucking
Yeah. That's what. Yeah, no, you're right. It
yeah.
was King Emperor Joker. Yep. And
And
that,
he
and
started
again, but this goes back to what Jay claims. That's why
yeah
Batman and Joker are like ridiculous. Like again, it just boils down to the writer. They're so capable and smart enough to where it doesn't matter who the fuck you are. It's they have that capability. So if the writing's there, it's happening. You know, like
Yeah, it
look,
essentially comes down to that.
yeah,
Yeah, they did they did Super Saiyan 3 dirty. It got more love in the games and the manga fan mangas. I agree. They could have given it more, showing. Um, it's crazy how cartoons can make humans omnipotent based mostly on IQ and morals. You gotta love it. Facts.
yeah,
Naruto is
you know.
universal based on Kaguya scaling. I don't agree with that. Batman versus the
Oh,
Cure
that's the
case.
noodle shit.
Okay, Noodle's
Yeah, that's what
dog
that
shit
was.
video.
Yeah.
Batman versus the Cure case. This is what I'm gonna say. Batman's raw intelligence is above Light Yagami's from Death Note. Yeah,
Leagues,
leagues above
yeah,
it. The only thing that would be against Batman is if Light targets Batman and starts to try to deduce who he is.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
Light's IQ is quite high, and you could deduce, well, this guy clearly has resources. This
yeah.
guy clearly is, in his physical prime. So what people in the world are very, very wealthy and in their prime, and
Yeah.
he might target Bruce
He,
Wayne.
he
It's
could just
very
start writing
possible.
down all their fucking names and just
Yeah,
and put a list and just start killing like and even if he doesn't know, he could just write the
yeah, he
whole
might
list of
just guess
every
it.
wealthy motherfucker, yeah. And
Yeah,
it's just like, he could do that. Now, I will say this, because if we're talking like scaling and reality wise and logic, whatever, then it's as easy as that. And therefore,
yeah,
technically, Batman would lose. But if we're putting in like writing into consideration and how they would interact, whatever you name it, then to be fair, like, because then you'd be like, okay, then why haven't people fucking done the same in DC, right?
yeah,
And that's actually been answered many times. Batman has contingencies, or he does certain manipulative tendencies to where he's able to convince the whole planet and world, even the smartest villains, heroes, you name it, to where there's no way even conceivable for them to believe that it's Bruce Wayne. Like,
yeah,
and I'm not gonna sit here on what he does. You could just Google, YouTube, whatever. But fucking, he has not only contingencies in place just in case if that's found out, but on top of it, he does certain manipulative tactics and certain persuasion tactics that he's just able to do to where it's just impossible to even fucking deduce that.
yeah,
Unless you're built like Joker, Bane, and or certain like exceptions to the rule, but fucking but to be fair, that was like way earlier on comics to where like Batman was a more grounded composite, to where he didn't even really prep for those type of situations. So like again, if we're talking like Prime Batman and all the things he puts in place to prevent that being an issue, and even the contingencies that he has to stop that, that's where it's like then if you count all that, basically he would still be fucked. Like he wouldn't be able to figure out his name. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So and then he's cooked. But if it's like the beginning versions of Batman to where like I like Jay said, I 100% agree. It wouldn't make sense how he wouldn't be able to deduce that if because Joker can, Bane, and several motherfuckers that were able to do it, could do it. I don't see why they could not do it. I know they're really smart. They're way smarter than him too, but it's kind of like a common sense thing. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
it's
Batman.
or in worst case, he could just write the fucking list. He doesn't even need to figure. Just write them all down.
Yeah,
So
one by one he would guess. What the
yeah,
thing with Batman is he's so intelligent that when he approaches this case, let's say law enforcement from Japan calls him like, "Hey man, this fucking dude's trying to this random dude's killing everybody. We don't know where it's coming from. Someone's doing it. Help us."
yeah.
He probably would, try to understand the nature of these murders and deduce, "Oh, this guy knows how to kill people." And it seems like he
Without physical
needs,
violence.
yeah,
Yep,
without
just some
physical
hacks,
violence. He
and
would
he would
probably
deduce it right away too.
yeah,
It'd be instant.
he would
Like,
deduce the workings of
yeah,
whatever the source of the murders are, and he probably wouldn't even show himself to
yeah,
avoid it because he would deduce, oh, these are criminals that are well known, that are foundable, that are findable via the internet. I'm
yeah.
gonna have to hide my face because he might deduce that I'm wealthy and I'm in my physical prime, and he might write my name down on some list and just kill
Yeah.
every billionaire
And
and
I agree with that, Jay. Like
yeah,
I do think like the moment Batman starts analyzing, he's not going to be dumb to try to put himself on the spotlight. You know what I mean? Or be like, oh, like I'm out here and I'm coming for you, right? Like I don't
yeah,
think he would make that mistake because clearly that's like what's making this guy so dangerous. It's the fact that he could kill people without even doing anything. Like
exactly.
so.
That's
Yeah,
what
I
that's what L
100%
did.
agree with that.
L did the
Yeah,
same thing. Like L, no one knew who he was, right? He tried to keep
yeah,
his identity secret. He's like, oh, if Kira knows who I am or can like even guess who I could be, I'll lose. So he had to kind of stay hidden. That's what Batman would do. He would do the same thing. The
Like
only difference
guys,
is, yeah, the only difference is he's way more capable than L physically, and he has more resources and even more than L did. Um,
bro,
so
literally, like guys, like me and Jay aren't capping on Batman. Like, you're talking about a motherfucker. This is one example that, and there's so many feats that he has. This man went into a room, looked at a normal leaf. This looks normal, right? And somehow knew that leaf traveled through time, is interdimensional, etc., and all
yeah,
this fucking crazy fucking
deduced it.
bullshit.
Yeah,
Just by looking at the leaf, he deduced all that.
yeah,
Like
he's on that level.
this man,
Yeah,
that's a
he's
legit thing. That's just one
yeah.
feat too.
Batman is basically L on steroids. That's what Batman is. And L almost beat Light. The only reason L lost was because of his pride, because it became a game of
Yeah,
pride. It wasn't even about I mean, justice was part of it, but it eventually came down to pride, and that's what
yeah.
cost L his life. Batman won't play that. Batman doesn't play that. He doesn't allow pride to cloud his judgment. He'll take down if he has to completely silently. He'll take down Light Yagami and he'll solve the case. Um, so Batman most likely, if he's in his prime, most likely would solve it. Yeah,
Yeah,
he'd
like,
most
but
likely solve it.
like another thing, like, and if I tone it down and take like the most insane, ridiculous detective feats that he's done, if I do like maybe like somewhat of like a normal, but not really, like another one, like he was able to identify a suspect based on a single footprint, deduce the criminal's entire plan from one random clue, and target and like basically track the target across the city using only environmental details.
Yeah,
And he could
literally.
also figure out someone's secret identity by analyzing their handwriting or their voice without ever seeing them face to face.
Yeah,
Like that's
his
ridiculous.
mind, like yeah, like characters in Death Note are smart, but they're not on the level of intellect like someone
Batman
like
smart,
Batman.
yeah.
Yeah,
Or
no.
Lex
So
Luthor,
or
and
fucking
yeah.
yeah, even Lex Luthor or any of those guys, that's another level. That's like beyond human. Like they're like fucking almost superhuman type intellect. So um yeah, Batman would most likely solve the case and he has the mind for it. And
But
almost the
that's
more
his fucking shit. He literally
yeah.
studied criminology, like inside like everything to do with criminals and humans and everything. He knows it all. Like,
Yeah, and here's the thing, he won't play the cat and mouse game L did. He doesn't have the pride issue that L
no,
did. So that's not gonna happen.
because he
Um
knows he's blatantly superior to him in
yeah,
any
he
aspect
like that's not even
intellectually.
that wouldn't even be a thought. Yeah.
Huh.
Thoughts on Alabasta classic arc. So the Alabasta arc, now that I'm done with it, I really enjoyed it. I could see why people love the One Piece arc, Alabasta. The fights were fucking peak, especially with Luffy and Crocodile. I thought Luffy really shined in that arc, in my opinion. I really fucked with it. Everyone got some shine, like Zoro, obviously. Fighting one, number Mr. One or some shit, whatever his name is. Luffy got the most shine, showing his conviction. Having to fight Crocodile multiple times and figure out how to defeat him. It was a very, very good arc. It probably is my favorite one so far that I've seen in One Piece, and I'm not surprised because apparently, many, many people like it. Um, what's up? Why didn't Vegeta use Super Saiyan 3 against Beerus? What's going on, Raspberry? We answered
Yo
this
yo.
earlier, but we basically said in the Battle of Gods, when he slapped Bulma, when Beerus slapped Bulma, he wasn't even thinking about what transformation. He was bloodlusted. He just kind of powered up and went at it. Like he fucking charged him and said, fuck you. He wasn't really thinking logically, I think. He was more so just, it was instinct. It was like a protective instinct inside of him. And he didn't really even think about what power up he was using at the time. That's what I would say logically why he didn't use it.
Yeah.
Um, and logically, from a writing standpoint, it wouldn't matter anyway because obviously it wouldn't be enough, so to
Facts.
beat Beerus. How good of a fighter would L be if he was trained by Batman? So L, here's the thing about L. The most physical we see him is when he has the tennis match with Light, and they are both like relative to each other in the tennis match. Now, by no means is either one a world class athlete from a physical standpoint. So let's say Batman trains him. He has very high intelligence, above average, obviously. The world's greatest detective in his verse, ironically
Yeah.
enough. He'd be formidable, I'd say, compared to most humans on regular humans. Um, would he be like a Dick Grayson or someone like that?
No.
I don't
Yeah,
think
no,
so.
because
No.
DC the DC's human beings, they are superhumans. Like they're biological, like they're way completely built different than us in comparison human beings.
Yeah,
Like
their
it's just not.
physiology is just
Yeah,
different.
like and it's weird because they are humans, but the humans in a DC verse are way more superior to our us humans or the ones we see like in the Death Note and shit. Like fucking they're way so like basically if they start getting like that crazy training, right? Like to develop their
Yeah,
physique, whatever diet, they start becoming like super fucking soldiers in the whole nine, right? While us, we would just be like a really good UFC fighter. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly.
Or special forces, or Marine hand-to-hand combat, but you still have your limits, right? If we start getting jumped by 10 people, you're probably fucked, right? You
You're
know what I mean?
fucked.
Like,
Yeah.
so you're
So
not becoming like some fictional fucking badass like Nightwing, but you'd be pretty fucking impressive. You'd probably be hands down the best UFC fighter. I'll say that,
yeah, yeah, L would be
But
like a world champion
yeah,
combat athlete level, I think. He
facts.
is intelligent, so clearly he'd learn the techniques and stuff, but he would never be fucking prime Batman or fucking, like Jason Todd or something like that. He wouldn't be on
And
that
another
level,
thing too,
but
like nerve strikes, all of that shit, whatever. That's not legit. You know what I mean? Like or
yeah,
like fucking. It's very exaggerated in DC and Marvel.
very exaggerated,
So
yeah.
like, what's it called? Yeah, it's very extremely like hyperbolic. So that wouldn't even be like so. Like again, like the majority of things Batman could even like transition to people, we wouldn't be able to utilize in our world technically.
Yeah,
It's not the
Death Note,
same.
there's a lot of realism
But
physically, so yeah, L wouldn't be like
yeah,
some fucking
he'll be a good
subhuman.
martial artist, but
Yeah,
that's about it.
yeah, he'd be talented, but yeah, not fucking DC fucking Batman level, So,
Yeah.
Luffy, who beat everyone before relatively easily, got no diff by Crocodile 2 times. Dude, Crocodile, man, that guy was cracked, dude. By far the strongest person Luffy has fought. The highest level of scaling I've seen so far. He's able to like take down fucking like large structures and shit with his sand powers and stuff. Um, so yeah, that was the by far it makes sense why he's one of the seven warlords or was one of the seven warlords of the sea. Yeah, that was a very tough opponent for Luffy. It's the first time you see him defeated, So, um, very good arc though. And Crocodile, I liked him a lot as a villain. I enjoyed him as a villain a lot. He was a great antagonist
Yeah.
for Luffy in the arc. Um, I'm definitely excited to see the future villains. That's definitely by far the best villain I've seen so far. Even not just power wise, but from a writing standpoint as well. So I actually enjoyed that
Facts.
arc a lot. So yeah. Um, but yeah, folks, any questions at all? Feel free. Again, it could be anything, anime.
Oh, just a quick mention. We're not
Yeah,
gonna say what it is because we want it to be a surprise. It'll either be on Jay's channel or mine. More than likely Jay's channel because I would want him to like to be more in the spotlight. What's it called? But there's a topic that we're more than likely gonna do for Naruto that no one's done. It's actually very interesting. It's really good.
yeah,
To like discuss and so on and so forth. It's not like what we did last time with the other one, even though that was really great. So it won't be nowhere near as long. But it is very interesting to discuss. And it's really cool. It's a really badass topic.
yeah. Unique.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah, what's it called? So, and the light bulb for me was shout out to Swag Kage. He was talking about certain things in his video, and then when I started thinking deeply on a certain aspect of it, I was like, you know what, this would actually be a fucking fantastic video to make.
yeah,
So we're probably gonna eventually get on that. I don't know when or further, but we want to try to eventually do it before anybody else maybe potentially thinks of doing it. But
yeah.
it's gonna be
Exactly.
a really
It's
cool one. I'll
it's a
put it out
concept that
there.
hasn't been like specifically discussed on yet. So
Yeah.
yeah, it hasn't been discussed yet. But yeah, we got content coming for sure. Hopefully Shinobi joins us, in the future as well. But
Yes, sir.
yeah. Have you guys seen anime series Bleach? Oh yeah, man, that shit's fire. I watched the final season finale.
Yeah, I saw
Um,
all the OG. I haven't seen the new stuff, just the OG Bleach.
yeah, it's fire, man. It's 1,000 Year Blood War. So far, every part has been fire. Can't wait to see how it goes. Zoro versus Mr. One, quite the underrated fight. It was a really good fight, really good fight. He's a dog too. I mean, arguably Zoro might be my favorite character over Luffy just because of who he is and what he represents. But him and Luffy are right like my top two for sure. But that fight against Mr. One was definitely fire. Question: Would Marvel's martial arts benefit Lady Shiva? Um, Lady Shiva from DC.
No matter what kind of work your team does, Asana can help manage it. From project intake to campaign management to strategic planning and more, Asana works for you. Try it for free today at asana.com.
I mean, she's pretty well rounded,
Uh, yeah,
martial
it
arts
depends
wise.
on who. Yeah,
Yeah, it depends on the
if it's like
martial arts.
Karate Kid, I would say yes.
Yeah,
Maybe Shang-Chi. But she's like Lady Shiva, at least to my current knowledge, she's like at least on the spectrum of Shang-Chi's level.
yeah, she's pretty
She's
talented.
not like the max, like fucking someone like Karate Kid, but she's very, very fucking craft.
Yeah, she's very
She's like the
talented.
second level. Like there's three levels in DC. You have the for DC, what's it called? You have like people there, whatever. Um, but yeah, you know, you have like the first level, which is like people like Batman, whatever, etc. Then you have the second, which is like Lady Shiva, whatever, Cassandra Cain, you name it. And then you have the third, which is like people like fucking, like you know, Nightwing and so on and so forth. You
Yeah,
know,
exactly. Also, you learned important stuff about devil fruits. Yeah, I learned all the stuff like you can improve your skills when using devil fruits. You can like really begin to exploit the abilities you gain from the fruits. You know, which Luffy really did when he fought Croc. He had to because Crocodile kept whipping his ass over and over. He had to really evolve as a fighter and really learn how to really hone in on his abilities with his respective devil fruit. So I really got to see that. He really took advantage of like the elasticity, right, of his um, devil fruit powers, and that's why he ended up winning. That was the main reason. But yeah, it's pretty interesting to see how it gets more detailed. But current Superman or current Hulk? You mean like in the comics? Cur-
Well, they both get omnipotence level versions of powers, like but I think Hulk is the max because he's using the one above all.
yeah,
Superman never uses the presence power or doesn't have anything to at least suggest that he got to the presence omnipotent level of power. While
yeah,
Hulk he did. So
yeah. Again, it does obviously matter the specific version, but yeah,
yeah.
as far as the highest levels, I think Hulk's higher still.
Yeah,
So
he's had the highest. Like the highest Superman's had was like was fucking when he became Superman 1 million, like Prime
oh yeah, that's correct.
yeah, that one where he like stayed in the sun for like so long.
Yeah,
But like even like with that comic and limited information, like we know he was omnipotent, but we don't have anything to show like if he was like presence level, you know, or like you know
yeah,
all
like
that shit.
that level.
So
Like I know there's like
yeah,
cosmic armor Superman and shit, but I don't think even
yes,
he's like that level, like God level.
because
Fucking
you guys forget like there's different levels of omnipotence, you know.
yeah,
Like when the Batman Who Laughs became omnipotent and so dangerous, and Wonder Woman on top of it when she had her bullshit plot moment, what's it called, they both were really powerful and they were going to destroy the whole fucking DC multiverse, but then the president sent like the Hand, I think is what they were called.
yeah,
He sent some omnipotent beings to deal with it and they were basically above like their current level, so they would have dealt with it. And the Batman Who Laughs was like, hey, if we combined our power we can beat them too, but if we don't we're going to lose, you know. So like there's
yeah.
different levels of omnipotence.
Yeah, it's almost like a order of magnitude. Like the presence, for
Yeah.
example, or the one above all, they're like the supreme being, even in like the omnipotence
Yep.
world. And then you have everybody else like
They made
death.
everything like
Yeah,
from their
they're like
power.
they're basically the creator, like the Messiah, I
Uh,
guess you could say. And then you have everybody else, like Doctor Manhattan, Death, and Eternity, Perpexla, all those people, the Spectre.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, like those two basically are God. Like they're like the Jesus Christ or the fucking like the Lord of those fucking multiverses.
yeah.
So
Like Marvel's like they have a lot more known because I feel like Marvel's a lot more popular in that area when it
yeah, they
comes to like
are
omnipotent entities. Like we all know about like you know the Living Tribunal,
Living
Eternity,
Tribunal.
etc., Death, you know,
Yeah,
Galactus, so on and so forth, right? But like with DC, that's where people don't really know as much. But one of the popular ones like Spectre, you name it, and so on and so forth. But yeah, there's like what's it called? Yeah, there's just levels to it, you know. And that's it. To make it simple as possible, it's like Dragon Ball Z. You have like power levels, you know.
yeah.
So
It's like a almost like a implicit like fucking like implicit assumed hierarchy of omnipotence. Like when you hear one above all, he's like the guy. Like there's no one above him at that
Yeah.
point.
Oh
Like
yeah.
his
Oh, I forgot.
presence.
You got Lucifer. So yeah,
Oh,
you got
Lucifer. Yeah,
Lucifer
yeah,
in
yeah.
DC. Yeah,
Lucifer.
he's fucking
He's
insane.
insanely powerful.
Yeah. No.
What do you think about Princess Vivi? Oh, okay. So I'll say this about her. I like you said, others find her annoying. I could see that. Like her fucking crying for like 20 minutes to stop fighting is not the most entertaining thing, but her consistency is admirable. I'm like split on her. I don't think she's like fucking ass. She's not soccer level ass or anything like that, but she has admirable qualities as well. I'm like split. I'm kind of neutral how I feel about her, but you know, she has her pros and her cons as far as her character is concerned. Um, Recently there was a Hulk run called Starship Hulk where Banner traps Hulk in his mind and controls his body. That's actually a cool concept.
Yeah, and that was a really cool Hulk because he gets like to his max like rage, and he looks
Yeah.
kind of like a Doomsday Hulk, but he has like
Oh
red
shit.
energy all around. Instead of green, it's like all red, and he looks
Yeah.
similar to Doomsday. And he's like he's really fucking cool, and that version's like insanely powerful. It's the second strongest because the first is when the one above all lets him tap into the full power,
Yeah.
but basically, like because how Hulk like has his like anger levels where he gets like normal, then World Breaker, etc.
Yeah. There's rage. Yeah.
That's like his peak, like the highest we've ever will see of him to that he has with his own capacity. Basically, the best way to say it, it's KCM1 Hulk,
Yeah.
and then
Literally.
when it's fully unlocked,
Like fucking
KCM2 would be the
KCM2.
one above all version. Yeah.
Yeah. Literally.
So
Speaking of Hulk, a movie I'm looking forward to. It comes out next month, I think. Is fucking Captain America, where obviously
oh yeah.
Red Hulk's gonna be in it.
About fucking time, bro. The
I
only other
know.
Hulk villain we ever had was Abomination.
Abomination. The only
Bro,
thing
like
I don't
Hulk, I'm
understand.
sorry, but Hulk. I know it's with all the legal rights and bullshit, and all that. But
Yeah.
Hulk's character and like his verse was done so dirty, bro, because
bitched
he
him.
has so much potential.
Yeah.
So many movies that could have been made by now, whatever you name it. And just nothing. Fuck, like Hulk is a great
Man,
character. So many great
amazing.
comic stories,
Yeah.
villains, and we haven't seen shit with him.
They bitched him and obviously I love the MCU,
Yeah.
but they fucking bitched fucking Hulk, man. They made him look like
Bro,
a bitch.
they went the route of fucking Professor Hulk. Nobody can. That's like the most favorite, least
Bruh,
popular Hulk out of any
so
version.
fucking annoying.
We don't like, bro. If you want to do a Hulk like that, do the villain Hulk, the Mastro Hulk,
yeah,
where
at
it's
least
where it's
some
smart,
swag.
but he's at least very strong as well.
Yeah.
But he's evil and he's ruling the planet Earth.
Literally. And like the peak Hulk, I think it'll always be this way until someone tops it. Was Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton when he fought Abomination. That's peak Hulk. That's peak.
Yes, the best ever.
That's the best ever. Better than the Hulk one that came out in like 03 or some shit, and better than the Hulk now in the MCU.
And here's the crazy thing: that Hulk with Edward that he just mentioned, that Hulk is part of the MCU. He's not separate either. That's how Hulk was going to be, but then when the actor changed, they decided to just do a whole different route because they were going the savage, like traditional Hulk route, where it's
so
based on his
sick.
anger. Yeah, and then the more anger that he gets more powerful. They were going that route, but then because they lost the actor, they just for whatever weird ass reason they're like, oh, you know what? Okay, let's do a different route. Let's go the Professor Hulk route. So where
So annoying,
and basically it's just it's combining the intellect and then just keeping Hulk calm.
It was so fucking annoying. That Hulk with the other actor, he was vicious. That's the type of Hulk we needed. Like,
yes.
Vicious fucking savage Hulk. Like, come on, man.
Bro, because consistently throughout all the reboots in any composite version, consistently that's always the Hulk.
Yeah,
is anger and savage and fighting. It's the Professor Hulk was a one-time thing. That's it.
Exactly.
And the only other time it was done again was when he became evil. That's it.
Mastro. Yeah.
So it's like why are you doing the rarest version?
The
Hulk?
Shittiest. Like
the shittiest, like fucking.
Like, that's the one you picked.
Bro, you had the potential to set up, and here's the worst part about it: they like slapped all of us in our faces. They literally set up Planet Hulk storyline when they sent Hulk away. They had it all set up, but they decided to put him in a Thor movie and then change it and fuck it up.
Dude. A World Breaker Hulk movie would have been fucking.
Yeah, how do you tease and set up a World Breaker Hulk movie, but then change it completely and put him in a Thor story?
fucking
What the
annoying.
fuck?
Yeah, that was disappointing. I'm not even gonna lie. You gotta have fun rating One Piece side females over Sakura. Yeah, bro. I think all the
Oh,
females would be.
I heard that hands down that the female characters in One Piece are way better.
Yeah,
I did hear that.
Nami is way
Yeah.
better than Sakura. Like her character
Yeah.
is way better. It's not even close.
I will
I
say this though, Tsunade and Sadara are badasses though.
oh, they're
Don't shit
fire.
on
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
They like if we're comparing peak to peak, then I would still say Naruto. But overall and consistent, then One Piece. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Sarada's fire character. Tsunade. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're pretty fire.
Even
Shakira
May
is.
was fucking cool. She had all the like those crazy fucking, you know.
Oh yeah, she had like the KK Tota or some shit with her fucking lava style.
Yeah.
Um, I think Shakira's above Tank pound for pound. Shakira's the most underrated in the game. I do agree he's probably one of the most underrated, but I don't know if he's above Tank though. Like pound for pound. Tank has beaten more high caliber opponents, in my opinion, but Shakira is underrated. I agree. Um, what character would you want to add in the MCU movies? Galactus would go crazy. Galactus would be a great villain. Who else would be nice to add? Yeah, so Galactus as far as villains would be great. Heroes, maybe like trying to think of his name. Sentry would be cool. Sentry would be a cool character to add. Nova. Um,
Yeah.
there's a couple like cosmic characters at this point would be nice to kind of add. Maybe the Punisher, like in the MCU. I know he's like there's a Netflix show, but Punisher would be lit. Um, yeah, there's a few of them.
Yeah.
Better Beef became pound for pound number 4 in my opinion after beating Bivol. Yeah, Better Beef should go up. Bivol was one of the best in the world. He beat him fair and square. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
How far does Syndrome from The Incredibles go in Marvel and DC? Syndrome is ass. I mean, he wouldn't go far at all. He had like he had to outsmart The Incredibles to fucking get them and
Yeah.
like trap them in those weird like those like fucking spheres where they couldn't move until I think Mr. Incredible went in there and like whipped his ass. Um, he's ass, so he wouldn't get far at all. I think even fucking someone like the Punisher or someone would fucking kill him. He's fucking ass. Um, Deadass just by stealing the going to marry Nami did more intriguing shit than Sakura for most of the time. Oh, so yeah, Nami is by far better than Sakura. She's more admirable. You know, she has her quirks too, but they're not annoying. You know, like she likes gambling, kind of like Tsunade. She likes money a lot, kind of like Tsunade. But she's much more admirable, honorable. Her story, you know, is much more admirable. Like her backstory when you learn of like where she's from and why she does what she does, much more admirable. Um, Superman knocked out the World Forger in the sixth dimension after sun dipping multiple times. World Forger is the son of Perpetua and created the multiverse. There's versions of Superman, yeah, that are fucking cracked. Yeah. Thoughts on the Superman trailer? Oh, I'm glad someone asked that. So the Superman trailer, you know, the James Gunn DCU, it looks promising. It's more comic book accurate from what I've seen of the trailer. And there seems to be multiple villains in this trailer. So obviously Lex Luthor,
Yeah.
we get a blatant observation. He's in it. Then we see something like some kind of monster he's battling. I don't know if it's fucking Doomsday or what. He's battling some monster in the trailer as well. And then there's like this weird person in a suit fighting him. I'm almost thinking it's General Zod and the Kryptonians or some shit. I'm not sure who the fuck he's fighting, but this scene where he's fucked up on the floor and Crypto kind of like drags him back to his, you know, wherever he's taking him back home or something. That implies that he's gonna face a threat that's quite powerful. I'm thinking maybe Doomsday, General Zod, or fucking Lex Luthor hires like hires or creates some fucking monster that can actually go toe to toe with Superman. It's promising. It's promising, yeah. Because in the trailer he's like all fucked up and can't even move. And Crypto, you know, his super dog has to drag his ass back home. So clearly there's a threat that's Superman level. Very promising. And I also like how this actor seemingly can portray Clark Kent better. Because when he's wearing like, you know, like the fucking glasses and shit, he has that aura of like Clark Kent. Not, you know, Henry Cavill was an ass. He was a good Superman, but this guy, as far as Clark Kent's portrayal, it seems to be more fitting because he does have
Yeah.
like that nerdy anti-hero vibe. Like you would never guess that guy's a hero and fucking
Yeah.
Superman. I like it. I
Yeah.
mean,
You
it's
talk
cool.
about the Superman that's currently out, like the
Yeah,
trailer that we
the
saw.
trailer. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, like no, yeah, no. Like here's the thing, like James Gunn, he's going the comic accuracy route. That's
Yeah,
what
he
we've
is.
needed all along. You
Facts.
could tell by the trailer that like the Superman that we're about to get, that is literally Superman. You get
Facts.
absolutely hands down like where it's like rainbows and sunshine, right? Like the sun's out, like good vibes, like Cat basically, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Always doing the right thing or being, that's blatantly Superman, and I'm very glad that they're doing the comic accurate
Facts.
adaptation because that's what we needed all along for DC. They did it for Marvel. Why wouldn't DC do the same thing? That's why they've had fucking problems, because the Henry Cavill, the Superman that he was more of the evil Superman, where he's really
Yeah.
dark. You know what I mean? Very more serious and
He's more
shit.
brooding. Yeah.
Like the Injustice Superman. Like Henry
Yeah.
Cavill would be great for that.
That would be
Like
perfect for him. Yeah.
yeah, but here's the problem though. That's like an Elseworld story though. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
It's like
canon,
alternate.
but that's
Yeah.
not our Superman, like the
Yeah.
main Superman. So yeah,
Yeah.
James
Exactly.
Gunn, and I expect nothing less. You're talking about a writer from Marvel, right? So and now he has the power and authority to take DC and make, movies with that now. So yeah, he's like, hey, we're gonna do what Marvel did, right? So we're gonna do the same for DC. And that's what they should have done. That's what
Yeah.
you're supposed to do. Use the comics. The material is there. Like
Yeah. And what I
fucking
like about it also is the scene where in the trailer when he's walking and the people are throwing shit at him, almost like he's having like an existential crisis. Like my
yeah,
guess, my theory would be maybe Lex Luthor made the people hate Superman, hate who he is and what he is, and
yeah.
that's
And,
that's
and
a
that'll be
cool.
temporarily because
Oh yeah, for
like
sure.
eventually they
Yeah,
realize he's great and he's
he's
always
great.
and like because in the comics like nobody falls for Lex Luthor's bullshit.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Lex basically becomes James Jonah Jameson basically, but
Yeah,
instead for
facts.
Superman, instead of Spider-Man.
Yeah,
So like eventually people will see, but it makes sense if this is the first time we're seeing Superman. Yeah, Lex, he's like a fucking very manipulative person, so
yeah.
I wouldn't blame him to try to get and Jay's more than likely probably right on that, and that's probably the context to where he was able to convince the people that whatever, he's an alien, yeah, like
Yeah.
and therefore like that's what he did. But
Uh,
it's
yeah.
gonna be a great movie. That trailer, bro, just the trailer alone is like in the top 5 out of
It
all
broke. Yeah,
movies
yeah.
for
It
most.
like
Yeah, broke the
viewership.
world.
It's like
Yeah,
up there with like the greats, like
the
like
greatest ones.
the
Yeah.
Avengers trailers and like
Yep.
the Batman trailer with Robert Pattinson and like it looks pretty damn good. And what I like about that scene when the people are throwing shit at him, it shows a different kind of like obviously we like when he fights and like the physical combat, but I like this sort of like this ideological conflict he's in, and I like this existential crisis. It's more of an intangible conflict, and I enjoy that. I think Superman, the Superman where we know, he would go through something like that, especially when he's first becoming
Yeah.
Superman, and like his enemies are trying to make him look like a fucking
Yeah,
alien.
Jay.
That's
Jay,
perfect for
it
him.
had 250 million views. That's
That's crazy,
insane.
crazy, and
Insane.
let's just hope that this is the beginning of the good DCU. That's what we're all hoping for. I think this trailer is very promising, honestly. A lot that I saw in there, like little details that they showed, it makes it look very promising. And if it does pop, let's say it blows up, I mean, the future's bright for DC as far as, live action, but we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. I'm definitely excited for it, for sure. I have to say that. Um, Ishiki versus Namek Frieza. Namek Frieza? So
Oh,
Namek Frieza,
yeah.
I think his power level was it a million or some shit like that? I forgot what they said it in the episode title.
Yeah, he
Um,
casually destroyed planets.
yeah, he was casually destroying planets. I would say probably yeah, he's not solar system yet because you don't see that till the Cell Saga.
Yeah.
It's interesting because Ishiki is like top of the Borutoverse, and you can even argue maybe galaxy level if you really wank him. That's like a high wank.
Yeah.
Um, I might actually lean towards Ishiki. There is
Because of
the
his
hacks.
abilities. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
his
the scaling
hacks.
would be very similar but because of his hacks, he would fucking slam, and it's even worse if he has a chakra fruit available. So
Exactly. So honestly, I'd probably lean towards Ishiki because of his versatility and his
yeah.
scaling as well. Because the Namek, they're not even solar system yet. So they're beyond planetary, but Ishiki's far
Like
beyond that
bro,
too. So,
Naruto in the last movie, right, which is canon by the way.
yeah, Ken.
Fucking when he was fighting Teneri on that fucking moon, but like, bro, Teneri did like his like this cutter ability, and Naruto blocked it with his arm, but the motherfucker split the moon in half casually.
Casually,
The
yeah, it was
moon,
very casual. It's like,
like, bro, like fucking what the fuck, like.
yeah,
And mind you, and that Naruto, he wasn't even in his avatar form. He didn't even apply Sage Mode to his avatar form. Nothing. He was just like in his base. Actually, he just applied KCM 2 to his arm for one moment and blocked it. And that other guy was in a full on blue cloak mode. You know.
yeah.
What's
Honestly,
it called? And that's just crazy. Like, so imagine like Naruto going all fucking out, like Avatar, applying Sage Mode on top of it, like he did against Sasuke. Like, bro.
Yeah,
He's
I think that
definitely
Frieza,
above planets. Definitely
yeah,
above planets.
that
you know?
Frieza would probably fall to someone of that level. That Frieza wasn't that strong yet. So, thoughts on the Kendrick album? So I'm glad you asked me this, Kendrick. As far as the album, I'm not gonna lie. You know, I'm a Drake fan, but some of it slapped. Some of it was like, what is this? Not ass, but I was
Yeah,
like, this isn't the best. But
I
overall,
enjoyed it. There's a lot
yeah,
of
I
good
enjoyed it
bangers on there.
overall, and I'm a Drake fan. I'll admit that. But speaking of that, so Kendrick, we all heard of him apparently taking shots at Lil Wayne. Drake
Yeah,
dropped a freestyle a few days ago.
he did
Did
LeBron
he?
and Little
Yeah,
Wayne.
he's the thing about Drake that I like, because I can
Uh,
relate. He doesn't forget what's done to him. So when he
no,
did
no.
that freestyle talking shit about LeBron and all the guys that were fucking dancing to a song calling him a pedo during Kendrick's concert a few months ago, he doesn't forget. Like he's not gonna forget that shit. When you're talking on his name in that fashion, he
Do you
said it in
blame
the
him?
song.
Mm.
Like I forgot the lyrics exactly, but he's like, basically like, oh man, I thought you guys were my friends. Like fuck that. I don't forget. It is what it is. This is just business
Oh,
now.
he's out for blood, bro. Like
Yeah,
that
he's
man's
out
doing.
for
The
blood.
only thing I don't fully agree with is the lawsuit. I think
Yeah,
that's taking it
that's
over the top.
yeah,
Like, bro, like grow up. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But
That I don't know.
'cause
That's
it's not like
understood.
some Johnny Depp or Amber blatant defamation bull. You know what I mean? Like, it's not.
Yeah, it's not.
Um,
Yeah,
and like it'd be one thing if his music was actually affected or his money was, because I'm gonna be real with you, that man's still breaking records. He's
yeah.
still
He was
breaking
still
records,
the
numbers.
most
Yeah,
highest
he
selling
literally
rapper.
says that in his fucking song. Like
Yeah,
the most recent songs he had, he keeps fucking saying that too. So
yeah.
so he's not being hindered money wise.
No, he's
His
not.
reputation's not hit. Like no, like none of that's affected. That's blatant defamation if it was affected. It's not though. So like
Yeah,
I don't understand why he's trying to do a lawsuit on defamation when his shit is just fine. Like sure, you may have some people that might think you're a pedo now, but okay, and some rent nobodies. Like who the fuck, you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
your money's still great and still moving. Your numbers are still great. Your rapper reputation is still fine. You know what I mean? Like
yeah. He
I don't know. Like that's a
he's
little weird to me,
still
but
yeah. He was still the most streamed artist of 2024. Stream rapper
yeah.
rather. He was still the highest selling rapper of 2024.
Yeah, M still fucks with him. J. Cole still fucks with him. Like
Yeah,
it's not like he
50.
lost everybody too.
Yeah,
Like
they all still
like
fuck with him, and the lawsuit
yeah,
shit. Like, I don't think that's the best course of action. First of all, it's hard to
yeah,
prove
no,
that like exactly like oh he was using bots. That's hard to prove. Firstly, so like strategically,
yeah,
it's not the best. Like I get it. If he were to win the case, I guess it'd make him look better in the beef, like the overall results of the beef. But it
yeah,
is kind of like
yeah.
a low blow in a way because at the end of the day, it's war, and what should determine who's better is the war
Rap
of
is a fucking
words.
it's a sport,
Yeah,
bro. You know, like that's the whole. But bro, like, so what? The amount of fucking people Eminem destroyed, regardless
yeah,
of what he said was true or not. You know what I mean? Like, because that's the thing. Like, it's not about whether if it's true. The whole point of it is just to fucking annihilate, like, just destroy your opponent and just make them butthurt, right? You know,
yeah, literally.
or to fucking or out rap them. Like the amount of times Eminem said shit, whether if it was true or not, because not everything he said was true. Most of it he just said was just to piss the person off, right? Or to insult them. What's it called? Like, so if we take that logic, shit, Eminem should have been sued a million times during his shady days, you know,
Oh
or
yeah,
whatever, and so on and so forth. You
yeah.
know, like
All the
so,
shit he
like it's
said.
just I think that's just not.
Nah,
It's just not necessary, you know.
no,
Like,
that's not like it goes against the code of like the war of words that a rap beef is. I think he should just keep it like unless it was his fucking attorneys that told him to do it. I mean, I would say no anyway, but I think from even from a chess match standpoint, as far as like
yeah.
oh who looks like the better man, that's not the
And
best
that makes
chess
doesn't
move.
that make Kendrick look better too? in a way,
Yes,
like
yeah. Because in a way, it almost like it's like his last resort. Like, oh, I can't beat you in a war of words, so I'm just gonna fucking sue you for fucking.
yeah, right, like some
Yeah,
pussy shit. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
it's like what?
I don't agree with the chess match. With the chess move rather. I think that wasn't the best move on the board. I think it's the war of words should continue. I'm all for that, but yeah, that's
Hey,
not the
bro,
best chess
I'm
move to
gonna
make.
bring this bitch up because he's a bitch and a loser, and it's like somewhat relevant because Jay had to bitch him at some point. We talked about it, but like that's like Jay going to fight Noodles and he beats the fuck out of Noodles, and then Noodles tries to sue him for like some bullshit assault charges or whatever. You
That's
know,
all. Yeah, yeah.
or Noodles tries to sue him for like defamation, like, oh, you ruined my YouTube, you know, or whatever. Like it's like, no,
Literally,
bitch, you just
man.
lost the fight.
Like I beat your ass, boy. Yeah, Noodle's a bitch. $5 from
but
Kendrick. Appreciate that, brother. What if Edo Itachi and Nagato went to another division instead of confronting Naruto and B? Would it shorten the war in any way? Now,
drastically. And so
yeah.
it
First of all,
depends, but like if he goes
yeah.
like where Madara went, oh hell yeah.
Oh
Hell
God,
fucking yeah.
that'd be fucking
Dara's
horrible.
dropping, Anoki, oh, bro, they're all dropping like flies.
That would be. I mean, it was already overkill with just Madara. And if it was Itachi,
Bro,
Nagato, and Madara,
but
God
like the
damn.
first scan we see them, it says right there, and then like Itachi says it. He's the go. He's like, bro, with your Rinnegan powers and my Mangekyo Sharingan, we could do anything, Pain.
Literally.
Like,
Yeah, and he's not lying either. Like that.
literally.
Yeah,
And it's
that's
no, that's not a character. Like that's you can't even claim Itachi's lying or like being dishonest. Like he's always humble and logical. Always.
yeah. He knows together they're as Edos,
Unstoppable.
they're unstoppable. I mean,
The
yeah,
only
without
reason why Naruto and Killer Bee even won was because of Naruto having Shishui's MS. If he didn't have Shishui's MS, that reminds you, Itachi gave him for Sasuke,
yeah.
remind you. So it's technically because of Itachi. If it wasn't for Itachi, they would have lost the fight and
Oh,
died.
yeah, they would have lost their lives in that fight, no doubt.
Yeah, Kabuto, like Kabuto said, he would have been, oh, now I got the 8 tails and 9 tails. And what he would have done, because he said it verbatim, he was planning to bargain and use that against Owen, be like, hey, if you don't listen to me, I'm gonna fuck you over. You know what I mean? And then that would have been
Yeah.
that, you know?
Yeah, it
So
would
and
have.
then Obito would have had to resort to somehow, some way, maybe getting Madara to help him, but I don't know. But
Yeah,
you know.
it would have been horrible if that happened.
Yeah.
It would have been. I mean, divisions would have been slaughtered. I mean, they already were just Madara by himself, but
Yeah, like
God, yeah,
I'll say this, like eventually at some point it would go the same way in the story because the moment eventually Naruto sees, you know what I
He'd
mean,
show up.
Itachi, and
Yeah.
then the same shit would happen, you know. But if he goes to those other platoons, whether if it's where Shikamaru's team is, or if it's where like Shikamaru and Darius' team is, or if it's where Inoki and Gaara was, if they go to any of those spots, they're all dying.
They're
They're all
dead.
dead.
Yeah,
And,
they're
and by
fucking
the
dead.
time Naruto gets there, it'll be too late. They're all dead. And fucking, yes, sure. All right, now Itachi comes back and, and he's helping Naruto and Killer Bee, but the damage is done.
Yeah,
Like,
a lot
bro,
of
like if you
lives
thought it
would
was
have been
bad
lost.
seeing Shikamaru's dad and Ino's dad die, like everybody's dead.
Yeah, like they're just lucky that it was Naruto and B that ran into them, and not like
And
another
they would lose the
division.
war. If I'm being honest, though, they would lose the war because now thinking about it, yeah, sure, Itachi stops Kabuto as well. But think about it this way. Now it's Naruto and Killer Bee against Madara and Obito
Oh God,
by
yeah,
themselves.
by
What the,
themselves, yeah.
like by themselves.
They're fucking a lot. Yeah, a lot more lives would have been lost. Let's say if they ended up in
They
another
needed
division.
the whole Shinobi Alliance to even have any chance remotely against
Literally.
Obito and Madara. And even that wasn't enough. And it took for the Okages to come back. You know?
Yeah, it
So,
would have been. Yeah, it would have been horrible. Just remembered you also met Luffy's brother, Ace. That guy is cracked. I saw him. He is cracked. I'm not surprised. He's Luffy's brother after all.
yeah.
That guy's fucking cracked as shit. Yeah, he's fucking cracked.
Mhm.
Kendrick versus Lil Wayne, current peak rap battle. Lyrically, damn, that would be good. I've heard Lil Wayne spit,
Honestly,
but
yeah, like because Little Wayne, he's similar to Drake. He hits very hard. If
yeah,
anything, I'd say he's even better than Drake because he's like he can rap really fast or build certain things. Um, what's like it really just depends how it goes because like again, me and Jared never gonna deny this. Eminem and Kendrick, even someone like J. Cole, like they're very gifted in a
yeah,
certain style of lyrical rap. You know, right? Like
lyrically,
nobody can
yeah,
fuck with them with that. Like hands down, that's fine.
yeah,
But when it comes to a diss battle, or a rap battle, that's different because we're not gauging like certain rap skill, right? We're gauging of who's gonna actually win in that battle. based upon what words or bars they're using, right?
Yeah.
They're like, because why do you think like Eminem doesn't go fucking rap god mode on MGK? No, he went very slow, right? He tries to make sure people can hear him, whatever. And
Dissected him,
sometimes
yeah.
he'll yeah, sometimes he'll do like certain M stuff, but for the most part, it's very straightforward, right?
Yeah.
So like again, that's a whole different argument. So like if it's rap battle based, in all honesty, like I'd probably lean towards Wayne because like regardless if you think Kendrick won still over Drake, the main big thing without a fucking doubt that gave him the W was the narrative route that he went.
Yeah,
When
he
he
took a
went
perfect
the whole
narrative.
pedo, yeah, and all
Yeah.
that, that's what really had him over. And everybody just like said, oh yeah, this hands out over whatever. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, if it wasn't for that route and those songs, the Not Like Us, and then the dark one that he came out with, if it was just the first two he did, Drake would have won that.
He would have
He
won.
would have
Yeah.
won.
He would have
He
won
would
for
have won.
sure. Yeah,
So like
it's
and I don't think Kendrick's gonna be able to do that same thing with Wayne because he doesn't have nothing on him. Wayne
nah,
hasn't
Wayne
done
doesn't have
shit.
anything. He has less public
So if he
history.
can't do a fucking a shock value, right? Rap battle tactic is what I'm getting at. There I highly doubt then he would fucking take it. Like don't get me wrong, Kendrick, he's good, he can hit whatever, he's great, but Wayne and Drake, that's what they're known for, to hit hard,
Yeah, they
So,
pack a bigger punch. Kendrick just had the perfect ammunition against
yeah.
Drake, like perfect
Yeah,
ammunition.
unfortunately, Drake, being a horny toad, like and whatnot, he did inappropriate things, whatnot, whatever, and it is what it is. Now, just to sit here and say like, oh, he's most definitely, actually is a bit. No, we like that's a whole separate thing. But
Yeah,
at least the actions that he committed at certain points, that
it could be
was,
spinned.
like so.
Yeah, it could be spinned.
Yeah,
for
it could be
sure.
spinned, whatever you name it. Like in all honesty, the worst thing Drake even had at all was the stage shit.
The stage
Because
shit, yeah.
like because he finds out she's a minor, whatever, and then he's still like talking a certain way, whatever, and you name it. But at the end of the day, he didn't touch her. He didn't fucking I don't think he kissed her.
And
But
even
either
she
way,
said like she
yeah.
defended him too. The fucking person the
Yeah,
girl,
she was defending him too. Yeah, so like that's like the worst thing out of all of it. Everything else is all like
Yeah, that's
circumstantial
bullshit.
or whatever, or you
Yeah.
just bullshit or whatever, blah blah. You just don't, he had some verses that were a little sus that I did hear though.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like it's just verses, whatever, right? It's just rap verses. But yeah, so like again, it's like Jay said, it was at least there to try to spin it, right? Wayne
it
doesn't
was there.
have none of that,
Yeah, no. Wayne wouldn't. He wouldn't have that on Wayne, and it would be
Yeah.
interesting to see that battle for sure. Which
facts.
version of Obito is the most underrated for me? It's Bloodless Obito or Chiha Massacre. The most underrated.
I'd say Blood Mist.
Yeah,
That,
he's probably under. People don't really realize or
yeah,
like.
he was
Yeah,
great, bro.
he's fucking.
Like
Yeah,
the Chia Massacre was nothing, bro. Like, bro, he just killed a bunch of like who, like the that one though, he was using wood style on the fly. He was doing all this crazy shit, bro. We see Conway, like he's going fucking ballistic. Like that was some good shit, man.
that was fire.
That was crazy.
Yeah. He literally he lost it.
Like we saw the full like potential Obito had. To be
Yeah.
fair, he was trained under Madara, blah blah. I'm not saying that didn't like
Didn't help.
make him go to crazy degrees. Because let's be real, there is a big fucking difference from Madara training Obito and from Minato training Kakashi. Big fucking difference,
Yeah, for sure.
And it makes sense, So, but so yeah, there's that helps. But still, like he was still a genius because even Zetsu was like, bro. This motherfucker could use wood style like this perfectly as well. Like, what the fuck? He's like, I could see why Madara chose you.
Yeah, facts.
So
definitely underratedly talented. People don't understand how talented he actually is.
like that version of Obito, you'd be very surprised. He could fucking clap a lot of really strong ninja.
Oh, facts.
Even
yeah,
that,
absolutely. Even that one, yeah. In the post-crisis comics era, Lex Luthor becomes president, like in the World's Finest comics. Yeah, there's a few storylines I've seen where he becomes fucking president, like these alternate storylines.
Yeah.
I like the score of the trailer. They modernized the classic Superman score. They did. I like that touch too. Who you got in the Bivol rematch? Here's the thing about Better Beeve. Better Beeve, honestly, skill-wise, he's relative to Bivol, obviously, but he packs a bigger punch than Bivol too. So I think he's gonna beat Bivol again, if I'm being honest. His power, I think, separates him. Kind of like Adesanya versus Pereira. Like those guys fought 4 times. Adesanya only beat him once. the difference was the power. I think they're pretty relative skill wise when they fought in the UFC and in kickboxing, but Pereira's power is what separates them. So it's the same thing here. Itachi versus Orange Mask Obito. Oh man, that's one of those that. Well, we'll just say this in character, like the characters we're aware of with the illness, Itachi having his illness, Obito would probably win. But
yeah, if it's sick
yeah.
Itachi, what's it called? Definitely would lean towards Obito still. Unless Itachi has like some prep
Prep time, yeah.
type thing, then Itachi, no matter what. Because I'm sorry, if Konan was almost successful,
Conan almost did it.
Itachi's definitely, yeah, like then Itachi, he would do that a billion times fucking better, is what I'm getting at. Like, bro, the man had one minor ass contingency plan with Sasuke, and that
Almost
actually
killed him.
almost killed Obito.
Yeah,
Amadara
that
almost killed him. Just
Yeah,
that,
that was
you know.
wild.
So if he goes prep time mode, Itachi's taking it, but without prep, sick, definitely Obito. And it makes sense. Like, guys, like, I'm not trying to. We're not gonna say Itachi's trash, because he's not. He's still, even while sick, he was
Yeah, he's
like
still
the
a
top
beast.
of the Akatsuki. Obito was scared of him still. He still
Yeah.
didn't even take a chance. Like
Threatened by
bro,
him.
like Itachi was the reason why they didn't touch Konoha. They didn't touch Naruto. Saw nothing. You know, like he put him
Yeah.
in their place the whole time.
Like yeah.
And mind you, Obito had pain at this point in time too, and they
Yeah.
still didn't do shit. They still were
Still.
playing the safe route and just trying to do it really slow, right? Be patient, whatever, you know, so on and so forth. And this is further reinforced because Zetsu, like when Itachi finally dies, Obito's finally, like, he says this, he's like, oh, finally that ice sword's no longer here, nothing stands in my way now, blah blah, yada yada. And then Zetsu's like, yeah, but at what cost? We lost everybody, the Akatsuki, this and this and this, so on and whatever, blah blah. And then Obito's like, well, it was the smartest thing to do. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, the most
and
calculated.
he's right, you know, because he would have had to deal with Itachi as an enemy if he tried to betray him, whatever. And Itachi had any at all, remotely any time to strategize a plan or whatever, you just back up the leaf, and now it's Itachi and Konoha against the Akatsuki. You know,
Yeah,
and that's a
that'd
whole
be-
other
Yeah.
you know, and that's a whole other thing. Or better yet, if he tried to even fight Itachi or whatever, Itachi's not gonna go down without any cost either. You know, like
Oh, hell
there's
no.
gonna be
Yeah.
there's gonna be a loss, you know, like
Yeah.
so like again, it just goes to show how strong and powerful he was and how capable he was. Because you got to think of it this way: if Itachi was that weak, then there would be no reason for Obito to play it safe. There's no
Yeah, you
reason.
wouldn't-
That's
you wouldn't-
counterintuitive.
Yeah.
He could literally just kill him right there, or better yet, he could pull up the pain as well and just bam, bada boom. But he still knew even then it would still be a risk. So
Yeah, it wouldn't
that
be.
has to be a
yeah.
testament to it, to him being still strong. Is what I'm
Yeah,
getting
he was
at,
always
you
a
know?
risk to him. Like he was always a fucking obstacle to him until the day he died.
Yeah.
Literally, I mean, he
Bro,
literally said
even
it.
when he just acquired the MS, Obito was still afraid and saw it as a risk
He
and a
had to
gamble.
negotiate.
You know?
Yeah, literally.
He had to
with him.
negotiate. Literally, he's like, okay, I'll help you with the Uchiha, to kill them all, whatever, blah blah. But you join the Akatsuki and help me then. You know, like
Yeah.
so, like fucking, so like even at that point, that's when he just awakened it. You know, so
Exactly.
again, like Itachi he's always been that guy. So
Yeah.
that's it for sick. If we say Prime takes it.
I would say Prime would beat him as well. Yeah. At that point, he'd have the scaling, obviously, and the intelligence, which he already has. Yeah, it's
Even Edo Itachi would take it. 'Cause that's
Yeah.
technically the closest we get to seeing Prime, but he's just
Yeah.
not at max power.
Prime Itachi or Edo definitely would be Obito. Yeah.
Yeah.
The speed's there, the intelligence has always been there.
And you can at least say on the objective feat of Amaterasu, like if Sasuke could be able to speed blitz him at that moment in close range, imagine what Itachi would do. Imagine what he
Yeah.
would do with the strategizing, you name it, his explosive shadow clones, which is a hard counter to Kamui, etc. You know, like
more than likely Itachi would take it in that scenario.
and Izanami is literally Obito's kryptonite because Obito is very similar to Kabuto. That's another thing he can do.
Not even to mention that. Yeah, that would
Yep,
definitely work.
because you know how Obito likes his Izanagi, and
Yeah.
Itachi knows that Izanami is the only counter to Izanagi because he
Yeah.
explains it all to Sasuke. The whole point of Izanami being created was to stop people that abused the Izanagi, because there was a civil war between the Uchiha clan.
The Uchihas,
And the shortcut to power was them just spamming the Izanagi to win the fight and then stealing that Sharingan and then doing it again, you know? So like that's why it was created. So if Itachi already knows, you know, what Obito, whatnot, you name it, how he operates, he would obviously know that he would more than likely try to use Izanagi. So he would have Izanami just in case. you know?
exactly. Yeah,
So,
there's many
so even
tools.
Izanagi is not an answer, you know?
No, yeah, he would know if I don't need to kill you, I just gotta trap you in the Izanami, literally.
Yeah.
The highest
So he has so
interpretation.
many win cons. There's so
Yeah, he
many.
does, honestly. Where does six pass Madara place in Marvel tier wise? Six pass Madara. If I were to like extremely wank him, he'd be like planet level. That's if I do an extreme wank.
Yeah.
So he would be like, I mean, he'd be formidable. To most like of the Marvel verse we know of. Like
Yeah.
heroes
Yeah.
like the Avengers and stuff. Not even the Avengers he'd be, because then you have like Thor and shit. But
Yeah. Like
he would
he'd be like he's in a
like a mid
like I wouldn't
tier.
say an
I don't know.
Avengers threat because the only time you're an Avengers threat is even when Thor and Hulk is having a problem with you. You know,
Yeah,
so
like
but
yeah,
like he's not
exactly.
necessarily an Avengers threat, but he's approaching there. You know, so like if Thor and Hulk are not involved, then he would be a problem. He would be a fucking
Yeah,
problem.
maybe
So
like a fucking like a. I mean, it depends on the versions, obviously, but like a normal version, like X-Men threat, maybe. I don't know, or like a
yeah.
Fantastic Four threat, like regular versions,
Yeah, that's
obviously.
fine. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah, he'd be like a mid tier. I feel like he'd be formidable
Yeah.
to a lot of people, but
It makes it like because if Thor comes down, because I'll say this, he could be able to probably beat like a fresh Hulk that just transformed. I'll give him that too.
yeah,
But if he doesn't beat him down immediately and like when Hulk starts getting angry, like if he doesn't do what Thanos did, then he's gonna be fucked and he will
yeah, he's
get
gonna get
beaten.
pounded on.
But Thor, he's already at his max power level right from the get, and
Yeah,
Thor is blatantly planet level.
he's a god.
So
Yeah, so yeah,
yeah, like
yeah.
he's either planet level bare minimum or even gets far, far beyond that depending on what version you're using. So I don't want to hear it, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Highest interpretation of Prime Hiruzen. The highest interpretation would be like when they stated he was above all the
Edo.
Hokage. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then like the closest is similar to Itachi Edo Hiruzen.
Yeah, Edo
What's it
Hiruzen.
called? Because he uses like all 5 fucking clones. He couldn't even do more like when when he fought Orochimaru, his age fucked him so bad that it was a risk to even do shadow clones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like with the Edo, like he lost that age nerf basically. So he could tap into his potential. It wasn't young, but it was still old man Hiruzen, but it's like the prime old Hiruzen though. You know
Yeah,
what I
like
mean? Because
untapped.
there's
Yeah.
3 Hiruzens. You have the young prime, then you have the prime old Hiruzen, which was still above the Sonic. That
Still
was the one
above.
we saw in the Nine Tails incident.
Yeah.
And even he was still above Orochimaru and Dry. Like he could just literally kill him effortlessly. What's it called? It was shown and stated. And then you have the fucking the even more basically older Hiruzen, which is
Yeah,
in
like Konoha
Konoha
Crush.
Crush.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Edo basically just brings Hiruzen to his like prime old version, which is what we see in the Nine Tails incident. And so he could do like fucking obviously 5 fucking clones, maybe even more. Do all 5 chakra natures and shit. His staff was strong enough to push the full Nine Tails out of
Full
the
Nine
village.
Tails.
That's still impressive, you
Yeah.
know. So his staff is really fucking strong. So like he's pretty fucking powerful, you know.
Yeah, he is.
He's still not Itachi or Minato level,
No,
because he was
yeah.
in even during the Nine Tails, he was crying the whole time, like Minato, where are
Crying
you?
for
You know,
for
like
fucking
yeah.
Minato, yeah.
He
Yeah.
was just crying. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
that's just sad. Like
Yeah.
I'm like
As the
like don't
fucking
get me wrong,
Hokage.
Hiruzen's badass, but don't pull a fucking Tsunade, bro. You know, like
Don't
come
start
on.
crying, dude. Yeah. I
Yeah,
was like
like handle your business. You know,
it's like
like you're the
Sakura
Hokage.
during the pain arc when she was crying for fucking
Like,
Naruto.
bitch, you've had all these years for you know you name it for how long, and you're telling me you didn't figure out a way to. You're the professor, right? You can't figure out a fucking way to deal with the Nine Tails. Are you kidding me?
Literally,
Like
what the fuck?
your solution was just Minato. Like, come on, bro. That's so ignorant and naive, you know.
I'm like, dude,
But
yeah, not a good
yeah,
showing. Not a good
yeah,
showing.
but either way, like, so he has his limits still, but he's so basically like yeah, like that here is in that's like the closest we get to seeing Prime. Because Young is all hypothetical. We're
Yeah,
very limited.
that's
We
all
don't.
speculation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all speculation, whatever. And it's like, and I know there's like those statements that Jay just brought up, but for all we know, that could be even retcon and have nothing even to do with his actual young prime. Like that could just be
Retcon,
like
yeah.
like yeah, we just don't fucking know. That's the problem. And it makes sense because if you think about it, like we see Minato, right? He's young and whatever, yet he wasn't like above Hashirama, like blatantly, right?
Oh
Like
hell no.
there was no
Yeah.
emphasis of that, of like him being so strong that even like he's beyond someone like him. So it's like it's really weird to say Hiruzen could be that, but Minato couldn't. Like that makes no
Right.
sense. I don't.
Yeah.
That
That's why it
doesn't
makes
make any
yeah.
logical sense.
Yeah, that's why
So
it makes more sense it was probably retconned. Like, oh yeah, he's not
yeah, it was
fucking
more likely retcon, whatever you name it, or like maybe young Prime Hiruzen was at least Minato and Itachi level, you
Yeah,
know, but not fucking like modern Hashirama. Like that's just a whole
it's all
like
different league.
you know that's
Yeah.
it's a whole different league, man. And so yeah, so like bare minimum, if we ignore the hypothetical and we go what we do know, then the closest to Prime is Edo or the one we see in the Nine Tails, and at least he's above Sonic. That's it.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, for sure.
So
Yeah, above signing. Yeah, I'd say.
yeah.
Who's higher pound for pound, Tank or Teofimo? Well, Teo beat Lomachenko, who's a fucking dog.
Yeah.
I might actually lean towards Teo on that one. Tank, he beat
Yeah.
Ryan Garcia, nice win. He beat Santa
It's
Cruz,
decent.
nice win. But Teo beat like a pound for pound great. He beat fucking Lomachenko at his
Literally,
prime.
dude.
Yeah, so I'd say Teo is probably still higher. They should fight though. Those two should fight, by the way. Invincible characters versus Naruto Boruto verse. Here's the thing about invincible characters, because I've scaled them before. Their speed is fucking ridiculous. Their AP lacks though. Like someone like Omni-Man, for
Yeah.
example, it takes him several minutes to take over a planet.
Yeah.
Um, here's the thing. Logically, when it comes to physics, when we try to determine AP, we use right acceleration. But in the invincible universe, these people could fucking travel across like galaxies in fucking weeks, which is insane. But their AP
Yeah.
doesn't equate, so you can even argue that their physics perhaps works differently than our universe. While Naruto and Boruto, we're talking about far beyond planetary threats. Once you start talking about like Ishiki, Prime Naruto,
Yeah.
Momoshiki, Kaguya. So
Oh,
yeah.
imagine Baryon mode. Oh my
Oh
god!
God.
Like,
Yeah.
imagine how how many how powerful that motherfucker. Because if we already know like a way weaker Naruto, like not even he wasn't even Okage yet, but like in the movie, and he was already blatantly planetary level. Like,
Yeah.
imagine that motherfucker. He's Okage, more stronger, and then you give him that most insane amp.
Like, just imagine this. Imagine, all right, let's say that the invincible characters have relative or even superior speed to the people in Naruto. It wouldn't matter anyway because they wouldn't be able to hurt these people like Naruto and
And they got
Ishiki,
hacks.
and
They don't
have
have
hacks.
hacks. It's like Superman going against Batman with every fucking gadget. Like
Yeah,
what?
exactly. Like it wouldn't matter anyway because Genjutsu and interdimensional teleportation and all this other shit. So yeah, the invincible characters wouldn't be able to stand up to top characters in that verse. It's just even with the speed, let's say they have similar speed, it wouldn't matter anyway because of that.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see
Bro.
Devin Haney's return. Devin Haney's a bitch, dude, for trying to sue
Oh, wow.
Ryan Garcia for fucking
Yeah.
mental trauma. I'm like, dude, it's a fucking fight.
Oh,
What are you
Jay.
talking about?
To backtrack real quick, bro. When we were
Yeah.
talking about that Superman trailer shit and the hopes for DC, because I was curious. Yeah, the Superman trailer is the 6th highest trailer in the whole world.
Yeah.
Number one was Deadpool and Wolverine,
I'm not surprised.
365 million.
Yeah.
Yep, Spider-Man No Way Home, 355 million, makes sense.
Yeah,
Avengers
makes sense.
Endgame, 289.
Of
Avengers,
course.
yeah, and then Lord of the Rings, 257, and then Superman.
Yeah, Superman, it definitely has right now it has momentum on its side as far as like hype. It has a lot of momentum. The most momentum since, Endgame or Deadpool and Wolverine. So it has a ton of hype. So that what we're gonna definitely get is a very high opening weekend box office performance. Like everyone's gonna fucking go and see like what it's about. And
Oh, yeah.
then how good that does will determine how it does in the box office. Like if it fucking like, let's say it kills it, it might be one of the higher, comic book movies of the last 10 years. It might do really well. But if it fucking bombs, then I think it'll only have like a good weekend, like first weekend, and then after that, people are gonna tell their friends like, oh, this movie's ass and shit, and then it'll die
and then
out.
it's shit.
Then it's shit, and it's another DC failure. But we'll have to see. I really hope it does well. It looks promising. It really, really does. So we got to see. Let's just hope that it's not ass like some other DC
Oh
movies that we've seen.
man, that'd be really unfortunate. But...
Yeah, really, really. James Gunn, he's worked in the MCU, so there's some promise right there because that guy.
I'm gonna be real with you. If a Marvel movie director, and mind you, he's made great, and we know how good Marvel is, right? They're doing great in the MCU. If he can't save DC, then I give up with them officially.
Nobody can.
I literally I'm being dead ass. If he can't save him, if that movie is ass, I literally give up at that point.
Yeah, I think most
like I'm probably not gonna care anymore about any of the trailer announcement.
fuck it.
I just won't care.
At that point,
So.
yeah, if he can't save it, we're fucked. I mean, he was a integral part of the MCU during its golden its fucking prime era. So
Yeah, and we're at a hit and miss right now too, because he made the Justice League Kill the Suicide game, and that was fucking horrible.
Oh, that was dog
for many
shit.
reasons.
Yeah,
He tarnished the Arkham trilogy legacy,
so
everything you name it, dog shit fucking game. None of it made sense, scaling and feats wise.
Dog
like you
shit.
can't show fucking fast being speed blitz, speed blitz tiers above these motherfuckers, but then now you can take them down. Like none of it made sense. Everything was so fucking. Like that was dog shit, and he was part of that because anything that's being DC made, whether if it's a game, movie, show, whatever it is, he has to be involved and he has to be a part of it and make it for now on because of how bad DC's been, getting hammered and crucified. Yeah. So the fact that he fucked that up, and that's a game. How do you fuck up a game? You know what I mean?
Facts.
So to be fair, I'll give him this. To be fair, his shit is movies, so maybe he just doesn't know how to do games, right?
Yeah,
it's not his thing. And so what he should have fucking done though is got the people that were involved with Arkham games though. He should have got them and then do some story, not him being the main. That's where he fucked up. But either way, all I'm getting at though, so it's kind of like it's a hit and miss. I'm conflicted because that was horrible, but then there's a trailer and it breaks records and it looks really fucking good, like me and Jay said.
Yeah, it looks really.
So I'll say this, maybe because that is his specialty movies. I really do think we're now finally getting the DC we've deserved for all these years.
Yeah, let's really hope that he doesn't fuck this up because I'm not gonna lie. When I saw Batman's death scene in that game, that was the ultimate disrespect. It was so disrespectful. Harley Quinn's bitch ass shoots him in the fucking head. Like, dude, first of all, how did they beat him? That's the first.
They roast him too. They all roast him too.
They all roast him, and they fucking Harley Quinn tries to flex on him, and dude, that's disrespectful. I don't want to see that.
And the craziest thing too, the worst part about it, when they first fought him, and this was without prep time, he no-diffed all of them.
Yeah, he did.
The cinematic scene, he defeats all of them effortlessly. And I don't know what the bullshit reason or nonsense was of why he didn't kill him right there and then, because this is a bloodlusted, no killing or killing Batman as well. So he has no restraints, no morals. He no-diffs them all, and then next thing you know, a couple chapters later, with prep time, okay, he fights him again with prep, and he loses. What the fuck?
Dude. That was ultimate disrespect. The most disrespectful Justice League member death by far. I was very, very, very upset. This is disrespectful. What is this dog shit? Dog shit.
How do you go from the Arkham games to that, bro? They should
poop it, man.
Bro, make that an Elseworld story. Why make it the Arkham Batman if you're gonna do that shit?
Man, that can't be him. There's no way. That's bullshit. Honestly.
There is a hypothetical theory that because some people just truly refuse to believe. There is a theory, we just don't know if it's true yet, that these are replicas of the Justice League and not the official Justice League members.
Yeah.
So if that is true, because people have tried to substantiate those arguments and why it could be whatever law, then thank God. But so far we just don't know. So we're just going with what we know.
So disappointing. So disappointing. Prime Itachi versus Tobirama. Oh, that's not even a question. Itachi. Tobirama's fucking ass. I mean, we all know that.
Sick Itachi was holding his own. Blind, no chakra, no stamina, fucking on his deathbed, coughing blood, and can still fight Sasuke.
Literally.
While Tobirama, fatigued, not fully fatigued, but fatigued a little bit, what's it called? Dies to 20 random ninja, okay?
Yeah, retarded.
And then also lost to Kinnigan the first time he fought at full power with the aid of an Okage.
And they're retarded too, so they're not even intelligent.
Literally.
It's crazy.
So I don't want to hear.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about Tobirama. Tobirama's so dog shit. Fuck him.
He's above the Sonic. Okay, cool. Here's and was too. Congrats, but he's no. When you're talking about the big boys, he's not nowhere even remotely in the discussion. So
hell no.
His best feat is only his flying Raijin. That is it. And that makes sense because it's fucking literally space-time teleportation.
Yeah, facts.
So
Prime Itachi versus Hokage Minato. We can't discuss that because we're actually debating that next week.
Yeah, we're gonna be debating that next. What's it
Yeah.
called? Well, I will say this. I will say this. I did decide to do a little fun project. I'll
Yeah.
eventually post it for you guys. But I did do a reaction on NC Hammer because he did a video of Itachi versus Minato.
Oh
And no
God.
offense, NC Hammer's goated. You know, he's
Yeah.
goated in his like his reputation regard, whatever, and you know, in his career with Naruto and whatnot. So I'll give him that. But no offense, because even though I don't think he's gonna care about me, but if he does hear this, I already know that that video is probably going to be very sus or just not great, you know, scaling wise or whatever. So like for one, it's just kind of like fun debunk material, and then two, just to see, you know, like him getting out whatever, because I've already seen everybody else, and so has Jay already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
his is the only video I haven't seen. But I'm just curious to see like what he thinks, whatever. So that is like kind of a prequel to the event that me and Jay are going to do, and I'm not going to say everything on that either for obvious reasons. I'll give like a like a brief you know analysis on it, but I'll be
Yeah.
doing that at least, you know.
Yeah. Exactly.
So if you want to see what I want to say just a little bit about it, you can. I will say this though, me and Jay both agree that Itachi wins though.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
without a
We
doubt.
both agree.
But yeah, but we're fortunately like because literally like every Naruto topic we could think we don't disagree on. That's the problem. What's it called? Like we one of us has to do devil's advocate. That's the issue, you know.
Yeah.
So
There's no. Yeah. Since we both
it is what it is.
both agree, but fuck it. I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
like maybe if we sat down for like hours, maybe we could find something, but it probably wouldn't be as like as fun to discuss, or maybe it's too boring, not as contentious or whatever, or maybe very straightforward. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
et cetera, et cetera. Like I don't know, like so maybe you know like the closest we could probably get to remotely is like if it was anything during like the tuning exams.
Yeah.
But even
tuning
that
maybe.
we agree on everything. Like the only
Yeah.
other thing like I could try to rep, you know, would be like maybe like Neji or Lee being above Sasuke like during that point in time. But either way, we made a poll though. You know,
Yeah. We made
Jay
a
made a
poll.
poll, yeah, of topics, and everyone wanted this one. And Sasuke and Lee was on there. So,
Yeah, it was on there, but everyone like
yeah.
fucking voted for. I think because everyone loves those two characters, everyone voted Itachi versus Minato. But
Yeah, they're the most popular characters.
yeah, but yeah, I mean,
So.
one of us has to play devil's advocate. But fuck it, I mean, it's interesting enough to where you can, you can kind of debate it. But
Yeah,
everything else, what we, yeah, like everything else, we agree
we
on
just don't
everything.
have
So
disagreements. That's the problem.
yeah, and the only one we probably would disagree, I already debated Shinobi on it, Itachi versus fucking Pain. So that's like the only one.
Yeah, that one, yeah.
Yeah,
But
we already,
if I'm being real, the only reason why I would see that's the same shit with Sasuke and Lee. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
fucking because my bias for Pain and whatnot. That's why I would always pick and rep Pain. But I do believe Itachi would beat him though.
Yeah, that's like the only
So.
like. There's nothing like we have to fucking think all day for something we actually disagree on. There's really nothing. So, not gonna lie, Tobirama might be a Sage Naruto victim. Maybe, man. Tobirama's might be.
Oh no, he is. You know, yeah. Like the only thing that would, and this is for any character, because again, we will always give credit when it's due. His only thing that is actually good in scaling is him being able to use Flying Raijin to dodge Madara's attack.
Yeah.
That is it. That is
Yeah.
it. So if he can dodge Madara's speed, so then obviously he could dodge anybody else with Flying Raijin, right? Like
Yeah,
that's
facts.
just that, you know. So like, yeah, sure, he could be able to do Flying Raijin, but for how long? How long until he starts getting fatigued, taxed out, right? And then guess what? Sage Mode Naruto would just clap him up because Sage Mode, the way that works, you have infinite stamina and chakra. It's like a senso beam. Every time you activate that shit, you just replenish your shit. You know, like so.
Zenkai boosts. Yeah, literally.
Literally. So he's going against a dude that can do Sage Mode 3 fucking times, and all Naruto has to do, which is really doesn't require really any chakra or stamina, is just try to strike Tobirama, and Tobirama's gonna have to teleport over and over. So guess who's getting gassed out first? Tobirama.
Yeah, facts.
So.
Well, to be fair, Marvel directors have worked on DC movies before. John Weldon directors Infinity War, and they brought him to do Justice League. And Justice League was a flop. I mean, there is like multiple parts to making a movie. You know, there's the writers themselves, there's the director. But yeah, I mean, it's true.
I'm just saying, James, he has a good reputation movies wise. So he's made
he does.
he's made really good Marvel movies. He did the
Yeah.
the Guardians of the Galaxy. He did them very well.
Very well.
So when somebody name it, he was involved in other projects. He's done a great job. And then the TV shows, his most recent DC TV shows, I've heard a lot of positivity about that too. It was really, really good. I forgot the name of it. It's a weird ass name, but it's basically a DC show that just covers any random events of any character that they want to just write about. And that's basically that. And in that show, we actually saw what his Batman's gonna be. We saw a little bit of that actually. He
Yeah.
showed Batman in this one episode where he's like on a window and there's lightning. So we have an idea of what the DCU Batman is gonna look like. But we don't know anything else though.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
because he did confirm and acknowledge that that is the Batman for the DCU, but it was just animated instead.
Yeah.
So
Base Hashirama versus a Light Hokage Minato. Hashirama.
yeah, I'll
It's
struggle.
so
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
yeah.
It would need a hit and Minato would need KCM to be above
Yeah,
in base.
to be on his
So
level. Yeah, exactly.
yeah, because when he had the Nine Tails, what's it called? That was like a big deal. It even like made his base fucking cracked.
Yeah,
So
he was fucking cracked at that point. I think you guys disagreed on Sakura being top 10 in my top 20 video. Oh, you're talking about the top 20 video I made a while ago?
wait, what?
Yeah.
Sakura?
Yeah, I think you said I think you guys disagreed on Sakura being top 10. Oh yeah, because I put her at, what did I put her at? I forgot. 10 or some shit. I don't
Are you talking
remember.
about the Kage shit?
Yeah, I think so. The
I
fucking
don't. If it's the Kage ranking, I don't inherently disagree with like because like there is arguments for it and the logic's fine. I just don't like Sakura. That's my
yeah.
problem.
I mean,
I don't
I
fuck with
hate
her.
putting
You
her
know what I
ass
mean?
there too.
Yeah, like
Honestly.
so me personally, like if I don't like the character, like obviously if I'm gonna try to argue against it, whatever, blah blah, you name it. But if
Yeah.
I'm trying to be like, apply integrity or be objective, especially if it's a scaling video, then that's a different story. So, but that's the main reason why, like, I wouldn't be like, and I'll fuck that, whatever, and yada 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 yada.
Yeah.
And the best way to even approach that is the Jubi Madara interaction because she gets fucking
She
slammed
gets
by Jubi
clapped.
Madara,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
obviously Jubi Madara would be, below Kaguya, so therefore it's like how the fuck is, et cetera, right? Again, you can play devil's advocate, whatever, however you want to go about it, but that's the main reason. It's not me
Yeah.
actually like truly believing whether she scales there or not.
Yeah. I mean, Sakura's ass, I mean, as a character. So,
Yeah.
not gonna lie, Warwick Orochimaru without Edo Tensei would beat Tobirama. Warwick Orochimaru? I mean, there's not many feats on him.
No, yeah,
Um,
there's no, because even if you say, oh, because yeah, now he has Hashirama cells, we don't know the quantification of that amp. That could be
yeah,
literally nothing for him. Like
because we know, we don't see
maybe it can
feats.
make him like above a Sonning in base, right?
Oh
But
yeah,
that's
yeah, for
about
sure.
it. We don't like for you to say now he's like blitz tiers or fucking blatantly now above. I don't know about all that. Like I'll
Yeah,
say this: he would be able to control Tobirama as an Edo, like that's objectively a fact, right? But to
yeah,
say he's stronger than Tobirama now, I don't know about all that.
yeah.
So
It's unfortunate we don't get like, yeah, like he
we don't
supposedly
get
absorbed.
feats. Yeah.
Yeah, we get no feats. Like he supposedly absorbed everything Kabuto was, but yeah, we don't have any feats though, so it's kind of hard to kind of gauge him. But
If
yeah,
anything, really, all we really see is like him being like a support character throughout, and then we see like A and like some of the Kages like trying to help in the war or fight the wood thing, and even Orochimaru couldn't get past it. Not even him.
yeah, not even him. Yeah, so he's not like
And,
fucking.
and he has
Uh,
Hashirama cells, like, and he couldn't get past it. Tsunade, A, Inoki, none of them could get past it. It took
yeah,
Karen to get her mental amped after seeing Sasuke die, and then use her chains. She needed a mental amp and the chains to
yeah. She had
fucking
like,
to create an opening, and then Orochimaru used his neck and then gave a curse mark to the dude and paralyzed him. You
yeah,
know,
exactly. So
so
it would have been nice to have like more feats on him to kind of gauge him, but
yeah.
it's
But
not too
we
much.
clearly see his limits, though. Like
Yeah,
he can't even get past the Garagara wood. And to be fair, that is very powerful. I'm not saying it's necessarily like an anti whatever, but we at least see his limits, right? Like Hiruzen
yeah,
couldn't get past it. He couldn't get. None of them could get past it. So we at least just know. Therefore, he has to be at least still in some similar level of scaling, right?
yeah. Like
So
he didn't have like a substantial fucking boost where he's like way above like
yeah.
these
Otherwise,
Kage.
the Kishimoto would have showed an emphasis of him doing more to that statue. If anything, Hiruzen did the most against it. He was the backpack saving everybody.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So
140 is popping off right now. El Rayo beat Pitbull and became champ. There's Tio, Jack, Catterall, Haney, Garcia, best division right now, in my opinion. It's probably the best. That 130 to like 147 range is the best in boxing. It's been like that for quite a few years, probably almost a couple of decades. Ever since like Floyd's emergence, those weight classes have been more popular. Before it was actually heavyweight, like Ali's era, Tyson's era. It was
Yeah.
actually the heavyweights that reigned like supreme popularity wise. But after that, it really ended up becoming like the welterweights, the junior middleweights. You guys got like guys like Triple G, Mayweather, Cotto,
Yeah.
Pacquiao, like guys like that. They started to kind of take the popularity, and they made those the lighter weight classes more popular. But yeah, in the 80s and 70s, it was the 90s. It was mostly heavyweights, but yeah, it's changed over the last few decades. Um,
Facts.
interesting, it's interesting. Um, you could even say the mid 80s. It was like middleweights. You had guys like Marvin Hagler, and you had fucking Duran and Sugar Ray Leonard, guys like that. But yeah, it's interesting to see like the lighter weight classes getting more popular, and the heavyweights it's not as popular now. I mean, compared to like 20, 30 years ago. But
Yeah. Facts.
um, how well does Tank do at 140 in your opinion? Does he carry all his power or lose some? Who can he beat? Here's the thing about Tank. When he fought Mario Barrios, who I believe it was at 140, he barely won the fight because of his power. Because Mario was 5'10", longer, rangy, skillful. He was winning that fight quite convincingly because of those advantages. But Tank ended up getting not lucky. I mean, he's very skilled. He got a nice uppercut and knocked him down or knocked him out. I don't think he beats the very best at 140, in my opinion. I think it's the size. He doesn't have the size for it. It's kind of like Canelo when he fought Bivol. Canelo's skill is world class, but when he starts fighting bigger, stronger guys, he can't hurt them. He doesn't have the power anymore, and those guys are skillful too. So weight does matter. Size matters. So I think Tank, once he starts going 140 and above, he's gonna struggle because of his size. His skill is there. He's fucking world class, obviously, but size matters, especially at the world class level. There's weight classes for a reason. I think he beats a lot of people at 140. I don't think he beats like the very top of the cream of the crop at 140. I don't believe. I don't think so. So, have you guys seen Trump disrespect Canada? Oh, do you mean him talking about like merging Canada with the U.S.? I think I saw him talk about that. What did he say? I think he said like Canada should become a part of the U.S. or something like that. Um, that would be very difficult to do. I wonder if that's ever been done in the last like few decades. I don't think that a superpower has combined like taken over, not taken over, but like combined another country within itself. That'd be very difficult to achieve. Very difficult. A lot of red tape. If you're doing it the peaceful way, it'd be very, very difficult. A lot of bureaucratic red tape there. So the U.S. is quite big land-wise too. I think it's like top 5 largest country land-wise, like in the world. It's very large. So but yeah, folks, any questions at all? Feel free. Be about anything at all. Did you see Richardson Hitchens fight Liam Power for a belt? Richardson claims inspiring he pieced up Haney and Shakur. I don't know if that's cap or not. Here's the thing about sparring. People have bad days, even the greats. There was rumors that during Floyd's heyday that Zab Judah dropped him in sparring, and I don't think that's impossible. Like even champions have bad days. Um, did Richardson piece up Haney and Shakir? Maybe it's possible. Um, we just don't know. I don't think it's impossible that he did it, but
My bad. I had to step away. What's going on?
very good. Someone asked about Trump disrespecting Canada, like him saying that we should combine the
Oh,
U.S. and Canada. Um, I was just saying it would be very hard to do that. Uh, you know, like practically, it'd be very difficult to actually accomplish that peacefully. Like to actually like somehow merge the two countries together. It'd be very difficult. Um, hey, maybe Trump is a
gotcha.
basketball fan and wants CJ on Team
You
USA.
guys gotta understand. Not everything Trump says is like hyper literal too. Like
Yeah,
the guy
he's a
trolls a lot,
showman.
or he'll just say things
Yeah,
that are, yeah, he's a fucking like that's kind of his shtick of why he's
yeah,
popular too. Like he's he's a fucking goofball. You know, like
Yeah,
I'm not
he's a
condoning
showman.
it or excusing certain things, but that's just what he does. You know, like reality
Yeah,
wise. So that's another thing too. Like, doesn't necessarily mean that's actually what he's trying to do, unless you have like some basis or substantiation or any type of enforcement process he's actually initiating to conclude that he was dead ass about that statement, then yeah,
yeah,
by all means, right? So like I can't, at least for me, I can't sit here and be like, oh yeah, fuck it, whatever about it, because I don't know the context, I don't know what's what, you know. So
yeah. I'd say that he is a showman. He trolls. I don't think the position he should be doing that, but yeah, he does it a lot.
yeah,
But yeah, not the best, let's say, course of action for his position. But yeah, he does that all the time though. But yeah. Renegon Madara in a live Sage Motohashi round versus Jubito. Jubito.
yeah,
Jubito is substantially
and
above.
even if that was true too, okay, sure, that's one bad thing. All because a person could have one bad idea or whatever, blah, blah, doesn't mean he's not still inherently good overall or as a whole.
Yeah,
There's that too. That's two different distinctions. So,
like
but
from my understanding, when he said that, he didn't mean it in a demeaning way. I think. I mean, I didn't listen to the whole fucking speech, but he didn't. It didn't seem like he was implying, "Oh, Canada's ass and we should save him." I think he just meant like, "Oh, it'd be cool if we merged or something." I don't think he meant it in like a. At least from my
the
understanding.
Shinobi Great
Yeah.
Alliance, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't like mean it in a like a demeaning way. I think he was just kind of saying it'd be cool if Canada was like a part of the
Yeah,
U.S. But
and even if he did, like, again, me and Jay would disagree with that, but
yeah,
it's whatever, right? It's one fucking stupid thing. Like, who
yeah,
cares?
if he did mean it that way, yeah, that is disrespectful. But I know that he trolls a lot, but as a leader of a country, you shouldn't be insulting your allies. Yeah, I agree. You shouldn't be trolling. You're right. I agree with that.
Well, yeah, because they
Uh,
can interpret it in a negative thing. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So,
exactly. Thankfully, Trump only offended
like,
Canada.
why
Now,
take risks? I agree with that too. But
yeah,
again,
I
like me and
agree.
Jay said, and unfortunately, that's who all y'all fucking voted for too. So I don't want to hear it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I don't want to fucking hear it. You
yeah,
all voted
literally.
for that motherfucker. And
Yeah,
if he didn't, then obviously it's excludes you. But
yeah,
there's that too. Like, you guys can't bitch when you guys voted for him.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I'm sorry, but we've had him before for a whole fucking term as president. You know what to expect. You should know what to expect at this point. You know how he
Yeah,
talks, what he does, you name it.
this is who he is. Yeah, it's his character, his nature. Yeah. Thankfully, Trump only offended Canada, not like a country that matters. Really.
Oh
Um,
yeah, well yeah, because he is smart in that caliber at least. Because he won't
yeah,
do that to Russia.
like
He
Russia
won't
or
do that
some
to
shit.
people that. So
Like a superpower. Yeah, no, you
yeah.
won't do that. But yeah, our presidents should conduct themselves very calculated. Shouldn't be saying dumb shit like that. But
Like, for instance, like Obama, he was great in that. He was
yeah, he
always well
never.
spoken, very
Yeah,
professional, humble. He was really good at that. I'm not
yeah,
going to sit here and say his policies are built like that, but because that's a whole other can of worms. Whether if you think they were great or not, but at least when he spoke, right, as a
yeah,
president and to the public, probably the best that I've seen out of a lot of presidents.
yeah.
So
He was always very well spoken, very well
very
behaved,
mature.
very
Yeah.
mature. Yeah, didn't really play that shit, none of those games. But yeah, that articulation is important because when you're in that position, when you have that much power that you're wielding, you're under a microscope, literally
Yeah.
under the microscope of the entire fucking country, from citizens to the mass multimedia, mainstream media, fucking every
Everything
fucking
you do matters, man. It's a
yeah, you're
butterfly effect.
everything you say, do, fucking wear, everything matters. So yeah, it's not the best course of action, I'd say,
Like
but
minimize risk. You know what I mean? Like, because we all know humans either agree or disagree, right? All the fucking time, or
yeah,
their intellects are limited as well, et cetera, et cetera. Like for the majority, they go, oh yeah, that's great, whatever, I understand. And then you can have the certain percentage where they're like, oh my god, how dare you, and take it into a whole other thing that it's not like. So the point being said is obviously minimize risk if you can, right? Always
yeah.
at least try to please everybody as a whole.
Yeah, that's the most calculated approach. Like some of the
Yeah.
greats, like some of the greatest presidents of all time, that's the approach they took. Someone like Reagan or someone like FDR during the Great Depression in the 30s, they took that approach of unity. They never spoke
Yeah.
in like they never
For the
spoke
people too,
to
for America. That's the
yeah,
most important as well.
exactly. And they never spoke to the US in terms of groups. Like that's the mistake I think Trump makes. Like he talks left versus right a lot, but someone like
Yeah.
Reagan or FDR, they didn't speak in those ways. They spoke like they spoke to
because
the
you
general public.
represent your entire fucking country.
Exactly.
Like that's the thing. Regardless if you agree or disagree,
Yeah.
whatever they or whatever you're even trying to push, like whatever you're trying to advocate or push, that's okay. But you could still be respectful by how you say it and what you're gonna.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's the difference. Like you don't need to be a dick or be like, oh fuck you and you don't matter, basically, right? And I'm
Yeah.
gonna do that. Instead, you can be like, okay, I'm doing this, professionally, and because I rightfully think it's the right thing to do, or whatever, or the best for us, with all due respect, etc., whatever. I know some of you may not agree, whatever, but again, I think this is the better for our country, right? There's nothing
Exactly.
wrong with that. But if you come out saying, oh, insulting or this, whatever, or you're stupid, you get what I mean? Like there's a way to communicate. That's the main
Yeah.
point. And that goes for anything, whether it's a
Anything, yeah.
relationship, your job, politics, whatever. How you communicate is going to affect whether if it's a bad or a good scenario. That's just
Yeah,
how
it's
it works.
very divisive rhetoric, which is not the best
Yeah.
type of rhetoric to use, especially when you're leading a fucking country. It's not the best core. It's not the most appealing
Especially
overall.
nowadays with how sensitive everyone is and
Very
how,
sensitive.
or woke culture or this or whatever, or better yet, or just people trying to do cancel culture bullshit, or misconstrue. And like, you got to be careful with your words.
Exactly,
So,
especially when you're in that position. It's like you want to appeal to if you want to appeal to as many people as possible, you got to speak as as undivisive as possible. Someone like Reagan,
yeah.
or like FDR, they spoke to everyone. There was no, the left, the right. There was none of that shit. It was
No.
just the U.S. people, like the people. That's all that matters.
Bro,
to
that's
them,
how you win too. Why
Yeah,
you don't win by fucking dividing. You win by conquering as a whole, because then you have all of them in support. Even if they may disagree with certain ideas or whatever, at the end of the day, you still have them all supporting you, because if you make it very clear as day that no matter what, the priority that is to protect and love us still, even if there
yeah,
may be disagreements, that's what counts, right? If your people or country feel like we're protected and at least still respected and loved.
exactly. It's like
So
if you can spark patriotism in everyone, that's how you win. Not only an election, but that's how you win over like a whole fucking population of people. Like they
yeah,
all,
bro, that can even affect the world, even
yeah,
other countries when because they're watching, they're paying
yeah.
attention too. You
Like
know,
this idea of unity. Like, yeah, humans have tribalism, but they also have a unity within them. You just gotta bring it out. When you're
yeah, you
good
got to
enough,
bring it up.
if you're a
Yeah.
good enough orator, if you articulate yourself in a certain way, you could do it.
Naruto is a good example. I know it's fiction, but it's still realistic and possible.
Yeah,
He's very good at that, at
yeah,
appealing to people,
a uniter.
trying to,
Yeah,
make everybody happy, whatever, or as a whole, to speak great, sound nice. And
yeah,
he's a great example because not everyone agrees on what he's doing as Hokage. You know what I mean? There's many, many ninja that may disagree or this, or even businesses, whatever, etc. Right? But at the end of the day, they still respect him and acknowledge him and accept him as their leader, because he's a good person, right? And he
yeah,
he respects them, treats them, love and protects them at the end of the day. So
yeah. He was a uniter. That was the
yeah.
difference. Like compared to like someone like Trump. So
Here's an example. Toby is Trump. He did
yeah,
a
literally, yeah,
very
he
shit
is
job
super
keeping the
divisive.
Konoha united. He separated the Uchiha and the Senju real quick.
Segregation,
Like,
literally
yep.
segregation. Like
Right and left is what he did.
yeah,
So,
right. He literally created a fucking two-party system. Literally, that's what he
yeah,
fucking did.
fucking
Best
Donzo
rock.
and Hiruzen type shit.
Yeah, literally. Best rock album. Best rock album. I don't know rock album names off the top, but I would
Yeah,
say
and
some.
that's contentious because it depends. There's different genres in rock too, if that makes
Yeah,
sense. But because you got like scream, and you got like standard, whatever. But I'll say this: I feel like the most popular, to even if you're not a rock fan, but you would still fuck with it. I'd probably say like any bands that are like around like Linkin Park,
yeah. Linkin
Breaking
Park.
Benjamin, things that like people
Um,
could still really enjoy and listen to, but you may not even be a rock fan.
yeah, like some of the
So
bands that are the most iconic, at least of like the 21st century. Linkin Park. Fucking
yeah,
like
absolutely Linkin Park, hands
yeah,
down. I
like
don't think I've met a single soul that don't like Linkin Park, and
yeah.
mind you, they're not even a rock fan.
Yeah, their shit's
So
fire. So like Green
yeah,
Day, I hear about them a lot.
yeah,
Fucking got bands like that. If you're talking about 20th century, like AC/DC and fucking Kiss or
yeah,
whatever the fuck is out there in the 90s, 80s. But I don't know like album names on top of my head, but yeah, bands like that probably have like the
Yeah.
best albums for sure. The United States versus the Cure case. You mean like our United States? So we have some pretty great minds, but
Yeah.
the problem would be that in our world, the idea of magic and like supernatural occurrences isn't widely accepted.
Yeah, we don't believe
So
in that. Like,
yeah,
unless you're
so
religious,
unless
but
you're religious, so what would happen is people would start fucking dying, and then scientists and detectives, law enforcement, that wouldn't be
yeah.
the first conclusion. Like, oh, fucking someone has a fucking magical book and
No.
is writing her names
Yeah,
in
they're
it.
gonna think
So
it's some like science explanation. They're gonna either think it's
yeah,
automatically a disease or maybe
disease or
space
some shit.
oriented, something that would have like be justified by science. So that's the first issue. Jay's already on the right fucking
Yeah,
track. Like, and so basically they're at a severe disadvantage. You know, absolutely, I agree.
yeah, and there is no L in our world. There is no fucking
Yeah.
greatest detective. So we'd be kind of fucked. We kind of maybe eventually he'd be caught just by chance or some shit. Like someone just sees him
But
writing in the fucking book.
it would
But
take a long. I'll say this: it'll probably take a really good amount of time for any detective or person to even come remotely close to potentially now thinking, oh wait, this maybe might be coming from a human,
yeah,
actually, and not from like natural cause like either the world or space or disease or whatever, because that's the first thing they're all going to get into. They're
yeah,
immediately going to think it's science related,
science related for
um,
sure.
and that's going to put them at a severe disadvantage, wasting time, resource, whatever you name it. And the worst part about that just gives him more time to make countermeasures, to
Yeah,
make it, to harder to think it could be human oriented, whatever, etc. Blah blah. Because all he has to really do too is learn who is the best detectives, which that's not hard.
not
You
hard at
have those
all.
resources. Yeah,
Yeah,
all he has to do is learn who's the best detectives or the best scientists, whatever, and just write their names and kill them. And then now there's no hope.
yeah, no
So
hope. Honestly, he'd have a
yeah,
very good chance. Let's say he has the same goal as Light did, which is like becoming the new god of the new world order. He
I
might
think he
actually,
would succeed. Yeah,
yeah, he
yeah,
might actually win. Like I don't know how he'd be able to take
yeah,
him down in time, let alone at all. Like so,
yeah. No, like unless if we're given like a hint or a clue, then I could maybe potentially see it, and that's a
yeah,
maybe.
because
But
our scientific method just wouldn't work. Like our
uh,
what we know and what we go based off of, the criteria we use to deduce things, it wouldn't work. I mean, if we don't,
like,
there's no
bro,
way.
like, here's a cherry on top. If we can put in years and hard work and dedication to trying to understand the human brain, the outer space, the ocean, and we still don't know shit about those three
Yeah, we
things.
don't.
And we've dedicated years and the most intelligent motherfuckers, and we still don't. You know what I mean? Or then and then that's not even bringing up like fucking criminal cases or murder cases that have still been unsolved to this day. Like, bro,
Literally.
you really think we're solving that? Like,
Literally. He'd literally be the
like we can't
Zodiac.
even fucking figure out the ocean in our brain in outer
Yeah.
space. Like and that's shit that we are dedicating our lives
Yeah,
to,
like decades of fucking
so
literature still like just
literally.
scratching the surface barely. So
But
yeah,
like, don't get me wrong. Like, our biggest, feats and what's really impressive about our race is what we're able to do over decades of time. Like how much we evolve. Like
yeah,
how we went from like having horses and shit or whatever, or like no electricity to now we end up electricity and now we have computers and phones. Like all of that shit was like thought to be impossible at a certain point, or better yet, was predicted to not happen until our current time, right?
yeah,
So like when we get like big leaps in forward in time, then yeah, like that's when we can do really crazy shit. But currently, as of now, and especially if we're talking about any in the past, we just don't have the capability to resolve that. Like
yeah,
maybe in the future we could, but not now.
yeah. With our current knowledge and capabilities, no.
Yeah.
Kira would probably win, to be honest.
That's a
Um,
good YouTube video though. I will say
yeah,
that.
that actually is a good
But,
concept.
like, could we solve the Kura case or the
Yeah,
U.S. or whatever?
the U.S. Yeah, Broly movie Golden Frieza versus Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta Tournament of Power. So
Ugh.
here's what we do know. Blue Evolution Vegeta is like a obviously mentally out Vegeta. We don't get to see much because he's fighting the worst possible matchup when he uses it. Fucking Jiren, who's a fucking monster. But I would still lean towards Vegeta beating Frieza in his golden form. Because he's beyond regular blue. We saw how badly. I mean, this is prior. But we saw how badly, base, not base, but rather blue Vegeta beat Frieza. He almost was about to kill him. I still, I mean, it's speculative, but I still lean towards Vegeta with Blue Evolution, mentally amped, beating Broly, Movie Gold, and Frieza. I would still lean towards him. I don't think the time gap is that vast either between those two time periods. So yeah, I would actually lean towards fucking Vegeta. Who's the better detective, Batman or Sherlock Holmes? Batman. Definitely Batman. Have you heard of the Havara agreement? It was an agreement made by the government of Germany decades ago that all people are led to the existence of modern day Israel. The alt of people led to the existence of modern day Israel. I don't think I've heard of that agreement before.
Me
Germany,
either.
yeah, Germany has an interesting history, man. Interesting history. It's weird.
Germany was up there with us, back then. Like
Yeah, back
they were
then.
giving us a run for our fucking money, man. They were
Like,
trying to beat us to everything, you name it.
yeah, like
Like
that.
like the world would be in a completely different place if Germany was actually successful compared to
God.
us. Because the only reason why we won is because we beat them to the race on certain things.
Yeah.
If we did it and they got it instead, Hitler would have won, and this world would have been a very, 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 very different place.
Oh God,
So,
if he would have won,
yeah.
let's say he would have won that World War, human history would have fucking
Mhm.
just completely
Whoop.
been fucked and changed for sure.
Me and
Would
Jay
have
probably wouldn't be here.
been, yeah, probably not. Probably into some
Yeah,
fucking.
no, we probably wouldn't. Yeah, we wouldn't be here. Yeah.
We probably wouldn't even exist. Honestly, yeah, it'd be fucking. Unless you're like
Or we'd
Aryan.
be slaves. Maybe
Yeah,
if
or
they
we'd
saw something,
we'd be enslaved, or we wouldn't exist. If you're
Yeah.
not, what Hitler considered the superior race, you'd be fucked basically. Like you'd be fucked
Yep.
right now. So. Hitler, thank God, it's fucking that we don't have an alternate fucking storyline, like where he won or some shit.
Like Germany, they're like the only country around that time that was actually a danger to us, and that we had to get involved because if we didn't, the world would have changed.
Oh, yeah, it would have fucking changed drastically.
Yeah.
I think what would have happened, let's say Hitler did win, he would try to take over as much territory as possible, and obviously try to create what he considered a perfect race and just fucking enslave everybody. It'd be fucking like a
he would have
fucking
had
new world order.
access to nukes. They would have been
Nukes.
the first ones to develop that instead of us.
Yeah,
Like
the fucking Nazis would have kept experimenting, making shit. The Nazi
Mhm.
party, like it would have been a fucking That's a horror film right there. What if Hitler won?
horrible,
That's
dude.
crazy.
If you think Jimmy Mater is bad if he won, nah,
Oh fuck,
nah, that's
nah.
bad.
He makes Madara look like a fucking angel, literally. Kimi Maru versus Guy in part 1. Well, if we consider Kimi Maru's
Sick,
illness,
he gets shitted on.
yeah, he is shitted on.
Bro, Lee was clapping him up. What? Like,
Yeah. It'd be funny if one of you guys slammed a person and debated Spanish. I could probably do that actually.
Yeah,
But,
no, I couldn't. I'm good at
yeah.
I'm good at listening and understanding, but I'm not really that great at speaking it.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that just for a fucking video of me shitting on someone in Spanish.
Do that to fucking fat cuck boy noodles.
This fat ass probably can't speak Spanish. He's from that would be hilarious though. Slamming someone in Spanish, bro, that'd be funny as fuck. I'd have to go to like the Spanish debate community and like talk shit to people or something. I don't know. Fucking learn rhetoric in Spanish, fucking big words in Spanish and shit. That'd be crazy. Bilingual debater. It's crazy. But yeah, guy would slam Kimimaro, part 1, yeah, for sure. Probably even in fucking base, to be honest. But yeah, folks, any questions at all? Great questions today. It's good to be back in the, back in the lab, as you guys can tell the title. We do got, like we said, we got a debate for you next week. We'll probably stream the day after that, Thursday. Hopefully Shinobi can join us as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And we're essentially, for now at least, going to switch to Thursdays. I think it's easier for all of us to debate Thursdays for now. So we're going to, not debate, stream Thursdays for now. So that's going to be the norm for now, for the foreseeable future. First stream in a while. Yes, sir. Thoughts on Frieza versus Aquaman debate?
Aquaman.
Aquaman?
Like Aquaman, like
What the
what?
fuck? Is that like
He's not doing shit. He's trash.
Yeah, he's trash. What
I'm
could he
sorry,
do?
but I don't even think there's a version of that motherfucker that's ever like
Uh,
gotten planetary level. Like it's
I mean, what would he do?
Aquaman,
Would he
bro.
try fucking drowning Frieza? I don't know what the fuck he'd do. That's all I can fucking do.
Or no, would he like summon a fish?
Summon throw sharks at Frieza. See what happens there. That's fucking crazy. Jugo versus Soigetsu. Jugo versus Soigetsu.
Oh, Sugetsu because Jugo can't hurt him because his
Yeah,
water
he can just
ability.
liquefy every time he like attacks him.
And then his water golem transformation could fight Eight Tails, relative
yeah.
at least. He's
Pretty
not on the same level, but yeah, he was right. He was going like blow for blow, and that's very impressive.
Yeah,
So-
he's not out. Yeah, people don't realize how how capable Sugetsu is. Yeah,
he's very underrated. Like
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but the fact he could transform into a big water thing and go blow for blow with the Eight Tails, and the Eight Tails didn't want them to run away, so then he had to resort to shooting a Biju bomb. That's a feat
crazy.
for Sugetsu. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Sugetsu's pretty cracked actually. I saw an
Yeah.
MMA guy at my gym. He's pretty good. Dropped a lot of guys in sparring. Sparred a pro, and he gassed out and got rocked. It was wild. Sparring in gyms can be fun to not only participate in, but see it too. It's pretty fire, yeah. You see wars and shit in the gym. But yeah, folks, any questions at all? But yeah, is that
You know what's really funny about that though, Jay? Too
Yeah.
the fact that he only did that once, but he never does that against when he's fighting Raikage. You know how useful that would have been
that would have been
become
perfect.
become an Eight Tails transformation threat. Like,
Yeah.
why did he not do that?
See him
What
getting
an
fucking
idiot.
slammed. Yeah, that's crazy.
Fucking like that's like typical plot bullshit for you. Like, oh, I'll do it to fight the Eight Tails and save my team, but I won't do it to take down the Raikage. You know?
Yeah, literally. Very convenient.
Because we know the
timing.
Raikage could fight the Eight Tails too. If the third Raikage could and
Oh,
go blow
facts.
for blow, obviously A could do it too. You know,
Yeah.
so
Is Batman vs Superman one of the worst movies ever? It's not. It's not that. It's not like
it's not the
complete
worst. It's just
dog
the
shit.
story was fucking retarded.
Yeah, the story was
Like
retarded
the
as fuck.
fight scenes are great. Like even certain
Yeah.
aspects are great. It's just the story was dog shit.
It was the most like the reason they fought and the reason they stopped.
And they made
fighting.
Batman kill. And then
Yeah, they made
Superman
him
kill.
kill.
Like that's the whole. They don't kill. The Justice League does not kill.
That was retarded. The reason he stopped fighting Superman is like, where did you hear that name? I'm like, there's not. And
Yeah,
like,
Martha.
what the fuck?
Why'd you say Martha?
like Batman is Batman that retarded to where he doesn't know other people are named Martha too? Like, what the fuck are you talking about here? That was the most retarded shit I've ever seen. I'm not gonna
To
even
this
lie.
day, I'll never forget when everybody's like, "Damn, fucking Batman!" Like fucking crashed out over
Is he
Martha.
retarded?
I was like,
Yeah,
"No
like-
way!"
Is this Bruce Wayne? This guy's retarded. Like, what the fuck is this? That's crazy. Frieza versus Aquaman debate was made on Twitter. Oh, of course it was. I wonder why. What the fuck? It's a random.
What feats does that motherfucker have? Like again, like I'm sorry, but I haven't heard shit about him. Like,
bro, like all I could like I bet most people on X are probably saying, oh, they could drown Frieza or some shit. I don't know what else they fucking say, but we could drown him. Before that, there were Jewish settlements and communities in Palestine, but the government in Palestine was Muslim and ran the entire country. There was no Jewish government until the two-state solution. Are you talking about like the Palestine-Israel conflict? Yeah, I know it's like there's like religious type reasons for the conflict. You know, I think it's been around. Like that conflict still exists, but I know it's quite complicated. Obviously, religion always has been in human history. You know, the Crusades and fucking Israel and Palestine, fucking all kinds of shit, man. All the religious.
bro, if it ain't
conflicts.
money or land, then it's religion. That's the
Facts,
indicator for war
facts.
every time.
Yeah,
every fucking time.
Religion's been complicated for
Religion and money has been the two most evil, worst things we ever obtained and created because it's literally the 9 out of 10 times the number one indicator for war to start.
Literally,
So-
it's like the two biggest war creators. Yeah, for sure, religion and fucking money and land. It's crazy. You think Sasuke could have taken on the whole retrieval squad without Naruto at the final valley? The whole retrieval squad without like the Sand Shinobi? Probably, yeah. Especially with Chris.
Wait, what happened? What about it?
So you think Sasuke could have taken on the whole retrieval squad without Naruto at the final valley?
The whole retreat. Well, if it's like the Sasuke, like with just shotting on whatever, then no, because he's
Yeah.
clearly like equal to Naruto. Um, what's it called? But if it's like CM2 Sasuke, then yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine. I'm cool with
Season
that.
2, yeah. I agree, yeah.
That's like saying one tail Naruto can't clap them all up or whatever. Like and I'm gonna be honest with you, the only person you could even remotely attempt to argue to try to fight that version of Sasuke is Neji. That's it. But not
Yeah.
base Naruto or like in Shikamaru, keep all those motherfuckers, none of them have anything remotely to show that they could have any chance against
Oh,
CM2
hell no.
Sasuke.
Yeah,
Neji and
no.
Rock Lee are the only ones you could even try to rep for that.
Yeah, that's the only
So-
people you could possibly rep. It
Yeah.
was because he hit Superman once. That's why they're debating that shit. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
what? Oh wait, okay, no, that's probably out of con because if you're talking about Injustice comics, Superman let him hit him. He didn't give a
Yeah.
fuck. He ate that shit and then killed him. What? He killed that
I'd have to see
motherfucker.
like what exact moment, what comic and what moment are they talking about? That's hilarious.
Because if it's the Injustice and that's what you're saying, then no. Like he literally allowed that. He didn't give a fuck. Like
Yeah, he probably yeah,
and
Superman's like, go ahead.
and not only that in the comics, because I know DC Comics pretty well, and I've seen all the cartoon movies too and shows. There's never been a time where Aquaman has ever been a threat to Superman. Ever.
Yeah, no. That's hilarious. So that debate came up on Twitter. That's hilarious.
Like, don't get me wrong, Aquaman, he is a super meta human. Like, he is very strong and fat, whatever,
Oh,
but
yeah.
he's not Superman level. Like,
Hell no. Hell no. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely not that level. That's a hilarious ass debate though. That's on Twitter right now.
well, like Batman be beating that motherfucker up with just hands or simple gadgets. Like, you think he's fucking Superman? Like, what? Like, hell no.
Frieza versus Aquaman. That's like the most hilarious fucking. Yeah, that's a hilarious.
That's
debate, honestly.
crazy.
You try drowning him. Try to
Like, unless there's some fucking Elseworld awkward comic story I don't know about where this motherfucker becomes Kasame and transforms to the godfish, okay? You know, and then sure, but it's if we're talking about his consistent forms and the composite versions we've seen, then hell no, he's never been planetary level ever.
No. Frieza would like blow up his fucking.
And if you're trying to say, oh, maybe he could use the oceans but he could use the ocean and like flood the whole planet. Like, okay, that's manipulating the ocean though. That's not like anybody can fucking do that has water powers. The Frieza can shoot a little. He'll shoot a little beam and kill him and blow the planet up.
Yeah, if he wanted to, he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna fly out of the atmosphere and blow up the planet, buddy. Like,
yeah, you think the ocean would scare Frieza? Because that's if I'm being honest, that's like the best feat he could really do. Because there's been tons of statements of him like threatening to use the ocean to just flood the entire world and kill everyone. You know, and that's the reason why they even had to fight the Aqua people, Aquaman sometimes. But better than that, like, okay, he has the ocean. Who cares? Like,
that's hilarious, actually. Yeah, I gotta see that. See what people are saying. That's hilarious. It's because people on Twitter said Aquaman was able to hit Superman once. It was a non-combative Superman who was willing to talk. That makes sense.
Yeah, so no, I told you the context. Like, no, in every fucking scenario, he's never ever scaled to Superman. Not even a holding back Superman. Like, Superman just bitches him.
Yeah, he's a bitch compared to Superman.
Like, he's had his moments where he wants to go macho, but he gets humbled immediately. He can't fuck with Wonder Woman. He can't fuck with Batman or Superman.
Hell no.
So,
Yeah,
not even the Flash. Like,
yeah. I don't know about that. Aquaman owned a weapon that damaged Darkseid before. Damn.
What weapon? What?
Well,
and you
he's
said
fucking-
keyword weapon. What does a weapon have to do with scaling though? Because if you're not
Mm.
fast or strong enough to use it, you get killed.
Was it what is it, like his fucking bitch ass little trident that he has?
If it's his trident, okay, that's a trident feat, but that's not
Yeah.
him.
No, that's hilarious.
Like
his weapon.
that's like giving Lee a Chidori, and then he can cut through Gara's sand and shit. Like, okay, but if you don't give Lee the Chidori, then he can't do shit. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Aquaman's ass. It's just facts.
and you have to be, and that's the problem though. But that's why when it's a weapon, like that's an issue itself. Once anyone ever makes that claim, because you have to be competent and strong enough to utilize it. If you're not, then it's counterintuitive. So
he's a bench warmer for the Justice League. He's like the guy they call in when they don't.
if Goku had that trident, yeah, that's fine, right? You know,
Yeah.
but not Aquaman.
He's the guy they call in when they're, he's like the bench warmer for the Justice League. He's kind of like a second string on the roster. He's not
Now,
really
I'll
like-
say this: if that trident is as strong as you say, though, if that's true, the only way he could defeat Frieza is if Frieza decides to be arrogant and think he could just hit that Triton away.
Yeah.
That's the only way.
Yeah, he's a bench warmer, second string Justice League member.
But I'm gonna be honest with you. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jay. I'm pretty sure the people in Dragon Ball, they have a way to gauge power too. So if
Yeah, they
Frieza
do.
sees a Triton, he would probably realize that thing is really strong, but just not
Yeah.
Aquaman.
If it is that, if
So-
it's as strong as something that can down his dark side, yeah, he would definitely sense it for sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he'd pick up like on how powerful the weapon is, because I know that Triton is, because that Triton can hurt Superman too. But the reason
Yeah.
why it doesn't matter is because Superman's just so much more faster and powerful. He can't hit Superman.
Yeah, I never hit him. This is
So-
way inferior. Who's worse, Twitter people or Facebook people? Dude, Facebook people are fucking hilarious, dude. You debate people on Facebook, they're retarded, honestly. Like a lot of them are.
Yeah.
I'll like purposely troll old people, people in
Uh.
philosophy groups, people in political groups. Just troll all of them, debate them, and like make them rage quit. You know, cuss you out in the comments.
dare you?
Like, you're a fucking piece of shit. Like, you're 60 years old, dude. Get off.
Oh my god.
That's crazy, dude. I think Facebook's probably funnier. Twitter's pretty funny, but Facebook is just
That's just where all the brain dead people are.
Yeah.
Like they're so stubborn and stuck
Comedy.
in their ways. It don't matter what you say. Like you can be talking to a fucking wall, bro.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. You're talking to a fucking wall when you're on
Yeah,
there.
they can't track. They can't realize the counter evidence you're saying or the contradiction. Nothing.
I've debated some people on the dumbest shit on there, and they actually believe they're right. It's crazy, dude, on Facebook. Insane.
Delete one forever, Jay. Dragon Ball, Naruto, Bleach, or One Piece.
Damn, I have to choose. I mean, I love all three, but yeah, One Piece.
Same, same, without any hesitation.
Yeah, it'd have to be One Piece, even though it's good, but yeah, it's not as good as those two though. All right, a couple more questions, folks. Bro, Superman Comics really recently said it took all his strength to move planet the size of Venus, only 13 meters. That's definitely a nerfed ass Superman. What do you
Yeah,
think-
and that's a composite because there's certain Supermans that can fucking sneeze and blow a planet away. So I don't want to.
Yeah, literally. There's like a version where he was towing like a solar system worth of planets with a fucking chain. Like he's fucking.
Yeah, like so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on your version. Like the problem with Superman is he's able to perform inconsistent feats when he's going like above and beyond having his Superman moment, right? You know,
Yeah.
that's kind of the issue. Like, and that's another thing. That's another misconception. Like people always think, oh, he just has to retain that power at all times too. That's not how that works either.
Yeah,
Because
no.
whenever he's fighting consistently, he doesn't have that power level. If he did, then all his problems would be solved. But whenever it comes like, oh, we really, really need you, Superman, please, and then out of nowhere, some fucking convenient, plot, moment happens, and now he's miraculously this fucking strong as Superman.
He's, like, fucking
That's
cracked.
technically what is always happening. So like all the crazy feats that Superman has, for the most part, is because he just inconsistently for that one moment could do that.
He has like
So
fucking.
now,
Yeah, it's kinda like
now if you're talking about the older Supermans, that he's actually built like that, consistently, like really strong, whatever. There are certain ones that are like that, but the more modern or the majority, he is a more grounded Superman nowadays.
Yeah,
And it
like,
makes
he's
sense, So
He's kind of like a Saiyan, like he'll have Zenkai boosts and get stronger
Yeah.
and shit. Yeah, so literally. What do you think, Jay? Remember when Thanos got arrested by cops? Does that mean his handcuffs in Marvel can hold Thanos level beings? That means those handcuffs were omnipotent, so even he couldn't get
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
yeah, it's a little different. I think if my memory is right, the context of that, like he got stripped or like lost all his power or some shit somehow, and he became
Yeah.
like an average Joe, but he still thought he was the shit, so he was like talking like how he talked, like he's like, I'm Thanos, how you know what I mean? And they immediately just arrest him, like, shut the fuck up, bitch.
They like
So,
fucking tased him, like, bitch, you're human
Yeah.
now. That's
yeah, it's kind of like
hilarious.
what happened with Thor. Yeah, that's a good example. Like
Yeah.
Thor was a god, right? But then when Odin stripped all his power and shit and just made him a normal like human, basically sends him to Earth, and he's getting bitched by tasers and
Yeah, he is.
tranquilized, you name it.
You get fucked up and
So-
shit. I'm like, damn, bro, that's
Yeah.
embarrassing. From God to fucking the fucking
Human level.
ass. It's crazy. Facebook became a pure meme site at one point. No one actually goes there to chat anymore. Yeah, it's a fucking joke now, dude. Old people and like dumb, retarded people are on there. Pre-crisis, Superman could sneeze away systems, but that feat's not recent. Yeah, bro. Superman's cracked. Classic Thor versus classic comic Superman. I'd probably lean towards Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, folks, about two or three more questions, or like topics, and we'll depart. It's already been over 3 hours. It's been a W stream, W questions, W chat.
Yes, sir.
And if you
W
haven't
stream
already,
so
of
far.
course, hit the
Hit the like
goddamn
button.
like button. Yeah, hit the like button if you haven't already, folks.
Hit
Greatly
that shit.
appreciated.
Hit
It's
that
gonna
shit
be
with the
fire
rising
next
gun.
week. We're gonna have a debate Wednesday, and then hopefully all three of us are here for the stream next Thursday. Should be fire. Yeah, should be flames.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Fire. We're
What's it
back in
called? It's been
business, folks.
been a pleasure being here too, man. Fucking it's
Yeah,
nice. It's been a bit, I bet
definitely
everybody was
been
like, hey, let's get it.
facts. Been a minute, man. Hopefully Shinobi can join us next time. He had some technical difficulties, but hopefully you can be present next week. It should be fire.
Bro, I forgot about this, but before we like fucking hop off, like, cause I know you like saw that shit on Twitter or relating to
Yeah.
that one chick.
Oh my
Things are
god.
getting worse and worse, but the delusion is getting
The
crazy,
hoes.
bro.
Oh my god, bro. These thoughts in these streets
Like
are
this
crazy.
chick, this chick said most men are afraid to queen out with their girlfriends, and that's why there's a male loneliness epidemic. I'm like,
Who says that dumb shit?
bitch.
Bitch, queening out your girlfriend? The fuck it.
Literally,
Simping-
and the simple shit I said was like, there's a male loneliness epidemic because of how crazy women are nowadays, how they weaponize everything, and all the advantages that they have in comparison and living on easy mode. And no
yeah.
logical man is going to deal with toxic women, or especially if they show red flag behaviors. That's the first component. The second component is what Jay said. And whenever men do simp or do whatever the right whatever, they're still fucked over, and they're treated as last place, and not
Facts.
first place. So
Yeah,
there's that as well. So simping's never worked. And
Nah.
it's a false equivalence because what it was under with the post that she posted, she was talking about fucking Tom Holland and Zendaya. Those are two rich, successful fucking people.
Like an
Not
outlier.
average Joes, an average
Yeah.
dude or an average, that's totally different.
Like the most outlier case. Like, come on, bro.
If you're rich, bro, as a dude, you can do whatever the fuck you want. You know what I mean?
Like every bitch at that point.
Yeah, and same thing for the chick. It goes the same way. If you have that status and money, you can do whatever the fuck you want. It don't matter. You don't have to go to anyone's standards. You have no you know what I mean? Like, what's it called? They don't leverage anything over you, whatever. And then here's the thing though. The fact that he's doing that with her, there's two reasons. One, he's an exception. That's just how he is and whatever, right? Cool. Okay. Or two, he truly, truly cares about her and loves her. And because she has the same status and is just as rich and successful, whatever, even though I do think his lore and reputation is better to certain degrees. What's it called? Because I'm gonna be honest, if you go on Twitter, who's trending? Tom, not her. But
Yeah, facts.
either way, what's it called? But the main point being said is because of how successful she is, if he loves her a lot, whatever, he's obviously not gonna want to lose that. So let's say like if he's not being, I don't know, energetic or doing what he's doing or whatever, and that was a problem for her, and she says something, obviously he's gonna make change, right? Because he doesn't want to lose her,
Right,
But again, that goes back to the whole leverage thing, right? But when it comes to that, that's normally not even the case anyways. Normally it's the one way or another. Either consistently it's the guy normally with that's richer the most, whatever. Or sometimes it could even be the woman. But bottom line is you can't apply those two, it's a false equivalence to the world. Everybody else is average or below average.
That's like the most outlier case to pick. Yeah, it's fucking.
Literally, it's just like fucking nonsense. I thought that shit was hilarious, bro.
Yeah, those bitches on there are retarded. There's hoes that are like, their fucking perspective.
And
is
consistently, another thing, a lot of women don't want that either.
Nah, yeah.
Like they'll fucking make fun of the dude for doing that shit or put him down for it. But so it also just depends on the chick as well. Like some don't fuck with that. Whether if you think the majority don't fuck with whatever, but everybody's different. Like that's not so. But yeah, when you're talking about the general, that don't work. When you're talking about just as a whole, that doesn't work. So
yeah, that's in general. Women want someone that they can respect and admire. They're not going to admire someone that's desperately simping over them
or moving or dancing like a girl.
Yeah, like dancing like your girl or fucking simping out, queening out, like that dumb bitch said. Like, dude,
no.
That's not what women want. They're not going to admire that. That's very desperate.
And I'm gonna be real with you. Tom Holland is the only motherfucker that is getting away with dancing to the umbrella shit. and
Facts,
actually
bro.
like having swag with that shit. You ain't gonna see no other dude be doing that shit as he did that or be accepted to that same level. If any other
No,
fucking
no.
dude try to do that shit, they be laughed at, bro. You know
Oh,
what I
hell
mean?
no.
Like
Your girl would break up with you right away. Be like, what the
literally,
fuck's wrong with
like
you?
only he could be able to do it. It's Tom Holland, bro. Like what?
Yeah, he's Spider-Man. I mean, deadass, he's like one of the only people that could do that shit and get away with it. I mean, like, come on,
Yeah,
man.
like so again, if you have like a certain status or reputation or whatever, then you're just the exception as to the general or as a whole, basically. And you can
Yeah,
just do what the fuck, you know. That's reality. It's as simple as that.
yeah.
You know?
These hoes don't realize that exceptions don't make the rule. That's the problem. They don't realize
Yes,
that. They
they
have
don't.
skewed perspectives because all they have are options in their DMs, and they think that every guy is a top
Yeah, no, no,
contender.
yeah,
It's
and that's the thing too. Like, not only do women have tons and tons of options, but to how reality is nowadays, they no longer have to survive on men either. They don't have to rely
yeah,
on
they
men. You know what I
don't.
mean? They can
Yeah,
be independent. They can do whatever, whether if it's whatever the fuck it is, you know, career, OnlyFans, whatever. They have so many, or social media modeling. They have so many outlets. So the fact that they have no incentive or nothing to even like rely on men anymore, or this or that or whatever, like there's no respect. You know what I mean? Or there's no
no, oh
like
yeah,
need.
facts.
You know, so they don't give a fuck.
No,
Like,
they don't. The remorse levels these days are non-existent for men. I mean, it is what it
yeah,
is.
it's basically the other way around is how they're treating it. It's the
Yeah,
opposite. They're wanting, you know, like the men to chase or whatever this and that, or to prove their, you know, their worth and et cetera, right? You know, so
yeah, that
but
yeah. Today, modern dating has evolved greatly from a few decades ago when our like grandparents were dating and stuff. It's
yeah,
vastly different, and
it's not the same, yeah.
nah, highly in favor for women. I mean, that's not even a complaint. That's just fucking reality. I mean, it is what it is. I mean,
Yeah,
women have it fucking easy. It is
it,
what it is.
it's just really at the end of the day, if anything, like it's just like you said, reality, and then two, whenever things change or think whatever, obviously human nature, they're going to improvise and adjust, you know.
Yeah,
And if there's something that could potentially benefit you, it's kind of like common sense of why not, right? And why not
yeah,
do it, you know.
yeah, exactly.
So
So Twitter is filled with a bunch of hoes that don't know what the fuck they're talking about. It's hilarious, honestly.
yeah.
But but yeah,
The
folks.
best part, I saw a clip uh a couple days ago, and like this dude was interviewing a couple girls, and he's like, "Hey, like good guy or a bad guy?" And they're like, "Oh, bad guy all day." And he's like, "Why?" And then they were like, "Oh, because good guys are boring and this and that and et cetera and blah blah and all this shit." And it's like, what?
Sad. It's fucking sad. We're all gonna be
And this
single
guy said
and
all this crazy shit. I'm like, bro,
uh,
like I'm like,
single.
all
These are
right.
all future 40-year-old single women that are bitter because they couldn't find a good man. This is gonna happen.
Well, no, the beauty of it, and they wonder why they're ending up single and then now have baggage or trauma and this or whatever because they want to fucking go after the shit men.
Yeah, facts. Like,
like,
come on, man.
like, I'm sorry,
That's
but if the dude is average and he's a shit dude, why? Why?
yeah.
That makes
Let's.
no logical sense.
There is no
Like,
incentive there. It's just
literally,
cultural.
like I would understand if it's like a rich guy, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But yeah, he's shit, or like maybe he's like, you know, an ass, or he talks to you, certain, you know, whatever, you know, blah blah, right? And like, and then you're putting up with it because you're at least like enjoying the perks and benefits, or you know how rare it is to find a dude like that, right? So it's like, is it really worth leaving? You know what I mean?
yeah.
But like you're doing that energy with an average Joe, I don't know about that
That's just
one.
retarded. I mean, from a women's standpoint, there's no benefit to that. Stupid as
There's
fuck.
no benefit. Yeah, that's stupid.
Uh, Freaking the
So
wrong
you
horse
might, so
there.
at that point, you might as well. You would think it'd be the opposite. And they would want a good dude, even if they
Yeah,
maybe more boring, right? You know, whatever. Again, it just doesn't make sense.
yeah,
That's just
exactly. We're in Discord. Can I
me.
recommend a video for you to react to, or can I recommend it in this chat? You can do either one.
Yeah.
The Discord is in the description. But yeah, folks, we're gonna end it here. We appreciate you guys coming out. We'll see you next Wednesday for the debate, and more than likely, we're back to business with streaming. So Thursday, we'll also be maybe we'll chat with y'all like after the debate too a little bit. But yeah, Thursday we're gonna stream also. But we appreciate you guys coming out. Much love to y'all, and stay classy, y'all. Peace.
Peace.